So now I ask about the heroin.
Oh,
That is the first thing in the session. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Devouring Dark. Pretty sure this is session 97, but I haven't been numbering them again. I got lazy. So, this session, or last session I should say, the group finally made it to the
Necromancer's Woods.
yeah, the undying wood, and before that they encountered some druids, which half the session was spent on buying various paraphernalia and drugs from these druids. However, the rest of the session,
Getting high.
they actually did manage to do some stuff. They traveled through some of the undying wood, and some of their companions got trapped in a hole that was developed by the undying wood itself, it seems. So, after that, they finally managed to get to Geo's new character, Zarskan.
Which nearly got murdered at the very beginning.
Yeah, he nearly got...
That's how we say hi as a group.
No, literally murdered.
Either way.
Shit, sorry, I didn't realize you were a person, didn't mean to kill you. Would you like to come join us?
That's what happens when you're black in this world, okay?
Okay.
Oh, that's called stealth.
Either
It's
way...
called bad camo.
Either way, they managed to come back and join the group, and they encountered this weird lizard-like undead creature that, for some reason, just ran away when they attacked it.
Ran away after one hit.
Yeah, basically. And then everybody decided that they wanted to smoke the Mary Jane, and that was pretty much where we left off. However, I think the first thing that we're going to do is wrap up what Edo-san was going to be doing with the rest, with the group. So, here's what's happening. Lily, when they go into the shack, Zarskan is just sort of sitting at the edge of the, near the, cabin. But he's not going in, because he's already decided that he doesn't want to. So, he's going to be sitting outside the cabin watching for everybody. And Edo-san is also outside the cabin, and so is Lily. And she approaches Edo-san, and she motions for him to follow her, and she walks a slight distance away from the cabin.
Yeah, Elsa follows with DT, of course.
Okay. She gets approximately 100 feet away from the cabin, and she says,
Elson! Elson! Elson!
Yes.
I think that I'm gonna leave.
Well, could you, hang on a little longer? Not because, I kind of do need you to keep me alive, but I'm also planning to leave as well.
Well, why don't we just go now?
Well, we could take a ship, but then we would leave them here.
Well, I
We are
want...
super vindictive people.
Well,
Yes,
Well,
that's very correct, Lucius. They are very vindictive people. That's why we don't want to do that.
she goes,
well, I heard them talking while you were a rat. And they said some things that you might not like.
Like they wanted to off me, get rid of me somehow, I'm assuming.
They wanted to kill your whole family.
Yeah, I assume as much. So, well,
Well,
If they
unless
go-
if they left the camp.
well, that's the thing that I was going to do. After, well, we're done with this mission, I was gonna leave with my family, take the airship that I repaired, they think they own, they don't own, and then,
No,
well,
you own it.
and then just disappear.
Well,
But
if
I,
if we leave now, then we can go and help my village. They
That-
they
well-
seemed like they were in big trouble.
well, that's actually was my idea to go and actually ask you to come with me. So,
So why don't we go now?
well, I don't want to have them on my roof all the time when we run away, you know.
Well, I don't think they will be. They have someone to replace us.
Well, that's very true.
DM
that's-
strongly hinting that he doesn't want two main characters by the same guy in the session.
That was the very idea that was replaced with Zarzgan, but
Could solve that easily by just having Edison go into NPC mode.
That's true, but
Yeah.
Lily isn't here either, and I don't want to control her as well.
and I see the
Exactly.
chances.
So there is enough of us that you can just have Edison go in NPC mode, and anytime we go into a fight, they just are off doing something else or holding off another flank. We don't have to worry about their roles and what they're doing.
Or they just say fuck it and go back to the airship and wait for us. Or just leave.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Well,
I would say that
Yeah.
Lily would want to go and save those people.
yeah. Okay, Lily, get the airship, get my family away from there, and then we head to your town. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I don't want them on my ass all the time, so I am going to slightly repair one airship if they still have to finish it, but because I'm not going to finish it for them. But they at
Where?
least have a quote-unquote second airship.
Well, whatever.
Isn't that like 4 days flying behind us?
Well, you don't know about that.
Yes, I do, because I was on a ship.
Well, you have one airship now. I can go back to there, fix up one airship like half the way or to 3/4 of the way, and then go get repaired and be like bye bye and see you guys never ever again.
Until we
That's
come
never
and
gonna
collect
happen.
your harbor tax. Because you still owe us for parking.
Yeah,
We will collect
then,
one
then you get sniped from a very strange looking tower.
You can't snipe the authorities. There will just come more. And you'll have to pay for damage. You have to pay for the damage on government property.
There's also
We'll
going to be
see.
the interest charges on the late payment on parking.
We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
That's not cheap, you know.
Just so you're aware. That's all.
Or I could just use my power as part of the bank, since you know I am part of the bank.
Well, you
When
never
the hell did he
signed,
become
you know.
part of the bank?
You said it
You never
yourself.
signed.
Yeah, well, it was up for the grabs, but you never wanted to agree to anything, so apparently
Yeah,
you're
but
not.
you
never-
did say I was part of it.
Well,
I
you,
never
I
signed
remember
anything.
that sentence clearly.
But you've never signed anything.
you haven't signed
You have
anything.
to sign
so-
official documentation, sir.
Fair enough.
It's like saying, hey, you're going to go work for Disney, and then you never actually go sign your employment paperwork or turn in your social security and birth certificate. Like,
But
didn't
you
do
still
any of
work
that
for a
extra
month
stuff.
and then you don't get paid and you get angry and ask why and then you didn't sign the papers, you fucking idiot, and then you leave.
And it's one of those, like, we kept telling you, too, every time you came in, Like, we didn't have an ID card for you because you didn't sign anything, and you always just waved at us and smiled, and then you did some work, and we were like, okay.
We kind of wanted to call the police, but he never touched any of the kids, so we thought it was like okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a whole thing.
Weird
Demonetized.
situation.
Before we get derailed,
Weird situation.
Either way, Lily has expressed
Would you
that
like
she
some
wants to
paperwork?
go and help the halfling hamlet. And it seems like these guys aren't interested in saving those people, at least at the moment.
Loving the alfalfa pre-Ben.
Yeah, my hair is not manageable.
Either way, so she's gonna go, but whether or not you go with her is up to Edo-san.
Anderson's going with her because he wants to dump this guy a long time ago.
Okay, so
Even Explo?
Not Expo, he will have regretted
The only guy who stood up for you were turned into fucking rat?
He will think fondly of Explo as a good friend.
Aww.
Either
that's just dandy.
so
I can really survive in fucking faraway love. Or whatever, distant love.
either way, so she is leaving immediately. She's not waiting.
Yeah,
She's
Anderson
not
comes
even taking
after
a
her.
long rest before she leaves. She's leaving.
Yeah, Anderson goes after her with DT. And he picks her up with DT. And then just heads towards the airship with her.
Slams her down on the ground. You stay.
Either way, so you both leave. What I'm gonna get you to do is I'm gonna get you to roll, you, Edo-san, as DT, unfortunately.
And
As DT.
DT, yes.
You
as-
need to
as
roll a
DT.
stealth check.
Ooh. Oof. Ooh. Ooh.
I guess DT has good stealth.
Yes.
Yes, I never knew.
Yes, I actually
Apparently he
never knew.
does.
Apparently he's very big, but he's a +6 in stealth.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
because of the creature that he's based off of.
Well, it's a fucking Velociraptor or whatever.
However, now it's Zaraskon's turn. Because he's keeping a lookout, he needs to make a perception check.
Oh,
Oh,
he does.
a
He
battle to
doesn't know
the death.
He doesn't know their rituals or what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, he doesn't know what they're doing, but he sees them walk away if he sees them. So you need to roll a perception check.
Positive will even get them, but sure, let's see.
Passive is pretty boring, so roll.
Natural one. So, what happens is, I'm going
Wait
to
a
take the
minute, Matt.
liberty of doing
Matt?
this. What?
My bear is also standing guard. And he's
God.
commanded to say anything that maybe looks weird to me.
Well, he can't speak.
Yes.
So
Oh, but he can come get me.
he can indicate that something's going on, but you won't know what it is because he'll be long gone by the time the bear goes and gets you, and then you come out.
Yeah, and you're high as a kite.
Yeah.
Probably, but I still want to say fucking goodbye to the only fucking smart person in the group.
I like how you keep saying
I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to that in a minute. So here's what happens. Here's why Zaraskan is not paying attention. Zaraskan is keeping a lookout, and he's just looking, and then suddenly the cabin door bursts open, and whoever of you guys who is in the cabin, you're gonna try to convince them to come in. Again. Except this time you're extremely high. So whoever wants to do that.
Oh, hell yeah. Expose all about that peace and love.
Alright, so
And
the
yes.
cabin door bursts open and you see him stumbling out.
You don't stumble when you're high.
Well,
Well, let's give him a bad time and be like, no.
Looking for the munchies, yo.
Just go back in the cabin.
Who is saying this?
you see
Which
like
one?
he sort of pats his like outer shirt, and a big puff of smoke just comes out of his shirt. And he looks at you, and you guys continue.
Just go back inside. You don't.
You sure
I
you want to come in?
No.
Persuasion. I don't even know where it is. Intimidation?
Yeah,
Yes,
he's gonna try
he
to
is-
intimidate you to go back inside.
Yeah, well, I don't
36.
allow it.
Like, no, I don't want any of it. Now go back before I shove you back in.
You have a +9 in intimidation.
Yeah.
Because he has
Oh, suck. I thought I was talking to...
Because he's a
Aerosol.
paladin, so I'm pretty sure his spells are based on charisma, and then he's proficient in intimidation, so that's how he got so high in
So
intimidation.
do I have to roll against him, or can I just say fuck off and start running?
It's up to you what you want to do.
Yeah, well, I'm not...
I mean, you haven't spotted
When players
DT
are
yet.
rolling against each other, I don't have official rules, but if you want to roll against each other, you can. But I'll say that based on the mechanics, he is very intimidating, so you can choose what you want to do.
Walk between his legs? I don't know. Go look for our son, I guess.
Yeah, you don't see Erosan standing outside, which he was when you went inside.
Let's see if I can even make a better perception look than your beers.
Let's see
Oh.
how.
Shit, I know exactly where you are.
No, here's what you see. You see, like, a group of footprints that seem to be because the ground here, there's no grass on it or anything, so it's just mostly dust. So you see a group of footprints that seem to be Erosan-sized and Lily-sized that are walking away from the camp.
Don't
You
get
mean
DT
DT's
sized. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
because we're
there's that too.
we are both on DT, so because DT can carry us.
Yeah,
easily,
eventually, once you get down a certain amount of the path, then you see that it's just DT.
I call my bear and I start following the tracks.
Okay, I'll say that you catch up within a couple of minutes. Because they aren't going super fast. So, you catch up
Gotta
to
go
them.
fast.
Like these.
Where are you guys going?
Oh,
Do you guys have any burritos?
No.
Chicle. Do you want to buy any chicle? Chicle?
Are
Do
you?
want to buy any
You're
chicle?
high, aren't you?
A little bit.
How many fingers am I holding up? He's holding up one. I expected to say 3.
I can roll for it. A D4.
Sure, since this is player on player, I'll let it go. So go ahead, roll whatever you want to roll.
Oh God. I'm holding up.
You're holding up one finger!
Oh God. No, you're holding up more. Okay, you are not that high, I think. But yeah, Lily and I are going to do a few things.
What
Nothing
things?
weird. Nothing weird.
What, you got a problem with halflings? What, you
Wait.
can't... You don't find halflings sexy and appealing?
Well,
Oh,
I don't
never
know
said
if you
that.
guys were there
Were
for
you a
that
highness?
conversation, but his parents actually mistook him and Lily for a couple, and they had a
Yes.
discussion about that. So,
She's
No,
just at the
no.
right height. She's just at the right height.
That's what you should say to your mom if she gets angry again.
No, it's more my dad. That's the problem.
yeah, his dad is like
See, that means-
his dad is a pureblood elf who is very into the blood lineages of elves.
Which is why he had a child with a human.
No,
No,
his
'Cause
wife
you're a
is
half
also an elf.
aren't you? Aren't you an half elf?
No,
no, I'm a high elf.
Oh, I thought you were a half
the
elf.
problem... And
No.
the problem is that Edison's father never had a good BJ, so he doesn't appreciate what his boys got.
Either way,
Well, I ask if I can help with what they're gonna do.
Lily
No,
chimes
You
in.
could use a cameraman.
Lily chimes in, and she says,
We're gonna go help my village.
Oh boy.
Your village?
Yeah, her village.
I told
that
you
kinda
guys
sounds
about my
bad.
vision. Like you guys had your visions. I saw my village being attacked.
I just got a weird sentence from it.
Did you also see something about the huge robot complex?
He did.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I
I
said.
did.
Yeah, that's what I say to him.
Hmm. Well, if you want, you can get the message, because I have no fucking clue what it is. So I give him the message so he can write down whatever.
Well, message about what?
That was the only thing that I could get out of the dream that made any kind of sense. Project
Oh.
Gamma Beta is underway. Meet at Lambda.
Yeah.
And I
The
know
coded
I've
message.
heard Lambda before. Ah, now I remember where it's from. It's a horror game.
Either way, Lambda
You're taking the
is
ship, aren't you?
I'm pretty sure Lambda is a Greek letter, so that's why it's.
Yeah, also
familiar.
that.
Yeah.
But
You're taking the ship, aren't you, Gio? Aerosol.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, even though this is player on player, you're gonna have to roll a deception check, and he's gonna have to roll insight to see if he can see past it.
Oh, +3. I actually have a chance.
Yeah, you can tell that he very obviously put a question mark, like he did when he was saying it just now, at the
You're
end
like,
of his
"No."
sentence. So,
Like every time he's lying, it like always high pitched with a question mark.
yeah, so you can tell that he probably is planning at least to go back to the airship.
Well, Explo makes Fussy walk over to DT and like kind of kneel down to make like his neck like a little bridge, and Explo will walk over to the back of DT, and he will hug Lily, and he will hug Aerosol and say good luck to you both, and then get on his bear and then walk back.
So Emerson's just holding him like, okay, it's a little awkward, but also nice.
All right.
Well,
So-
you stay safe.
Cheers, buddy.
And Explo
Oh.
gets back onto the back of Fuzzy, and
Oh yeah, Explo, don't tell Howler.
I thought I was self-explanatory, and I just wink at him and I start walking back to the cabin.
Okay.
okay. So, Erosan and Lily begin to leave,
Mhm.
and I'm just gonna say that this isn't the end of Erosan or anything.
Yeah, I expect
There's
this
also
much.
one more thing that I plan on doing a little later, but I don't want to take up too much time all at once. So,
Okay.
you guys start walking back towards the airship.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and Explo gets back to the cabin, and I don't know if you two inside the cabin would notice, but he was gone for about 15 minutes.
Probably taking a good shit and a leak.
Wow, taking a piss when you're high is amazing.
I noticed, but I think he was just taking a piss because it was just 15
Explo.
minutes.
Yeah, because he managed to catch up to them because his bear ran after them when he realized that they were going somewhere. So he caught up to them pretty quickly and he came back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So they come back and I don't know if your bear is going to go inside the cabin, but it can fit.
No, it's gonna stand watch outside.
Alright, Zarascon, you notice them come back.
Mm-hmm.
And the bear sort of just sits, the mechanical bear just sort of sits down like a regular bear right next to you. And Explo goes back into the cabin.
Just go like pats on top of that bear's head.
Clunk, clunk.
And it does make a metallic. It doesn't feel like a bear at all. Like it has a bear pelt on it, but the actual bear itself is not feeling like a bear at all. And you just sort of pat it, but it does react like a bear would, strangely enough.
Yeah, nothing weird here, just like pat and just continue my watch.
I'm a fucking good code maker.
Well, it is, to be fair, it is a simplistic creature. So making a machine that acts like it is not as hard as, say, a true AI or something like that.
Well, when you're drunk and high all the time, it should be a little bit hard.
Yeah, I suppose so. So you head back into the cabin.
Just for sake of knowledge sake, I do rotate with my squad, so to say. So if the Raven or the Frog wants to take watch, they can if they want.
Yeah, they're used to hanging out with you. They've been with you for a little while longer, other than this trip. So, and I would say that both of them you rescued from the shadow yourself. So you liberated them from the shadow, and they decided to join you because they had no one else to join. And turns out that their personalities are very attuned to you. They're willing to take orders, and they aren't unwilling to do things that are questionable to other people's moral systems.
Oh, you're gonna love us.
Yeah,
So-
because Zerskan is not a nice guy as well.
Yeah, so these two are
I wouldn't say
also...
we're evil.
Some of you are.
No.
Yes.
No alignment. Mine is chaotic neutral, I think. Yep.
Yeah, and so is Howler's, but
Chaotic neutral can be quite different.
I like to keep my options open.
but Lucius's is not neutral.
Well, depends how you describe neutral.
No, his alignment isn't neutral.
Your
I know his
alignment is
alignment.
chaotic evil, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Evil? It's not evil.
It is evil.
Huh. Well, it would be more like lawful evil, because he doesn't go around just murdering people.
He is evil, I know that much.
Well, his dad is a fucking devil.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
it's true.
back on track.
Either way.
Again.
And by the way, tieflings can be any alignment. It's just that his particular alignment, because he is tiefling and the way that society treated tieflings, he got shoved into a situation where he was more likely to be evil anyway. So, either way, you can talk to him about that, and whether or not he tells you all that information is up to him. So, yeah, you guys are back in the cabin. Except Zerskan, he's watching outside.
How many bedrooms does this cabin have? Explo asked Howler.
Oh yeah, sorry me. Yeah, I just got a message, so I was trying to respond. So
That's okay.
Well, it's kind of. I would assume it's like a cabin. It probably got like. I'd say like 4 tiny bedrooms up top, and then like 1 larger one at the bottom floor. If that's fine.
Here's how I was picturing it. It can be. It's a little malleable because I didn't really plan anything, but I was thinking that it was like a big open floor plan on the bottom that has a staircase that goes up to the top floor, and the top floor has like 2 rooms and then like a storage area, which you could convert into a room if you wanted to.
Yeah, okay, so like 2 large rooms and then like the closet, which is a room for...
Is there furniture?
Oh,
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that's
it's-
like
well, then-
their house in front of the fire.
It's minimally furnished, so it's not like it has like 1,000 pieces of furniture. It has like
No, but does it have like a couch?
it
Yeah,
has
yeah.
it has a
Downstairs.
couch and it has a couple of chairs out on the bottom floor, and on the upper floor it has beds, a chair in each of the bedroom, and like a nightstand.
Expo would just get the bear pelt if there's a bear pelt. Is there a bear pelt on the floor?
Yeah, we decided last time that there is, or one of the other times, that there is a bear pelt in the living
Okay,
room
cool.
area.
Coolsies. Expo would take the bear pelt and use it as what the fuck's that word in English?
A blanket?
There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you mean blanket.
Yeah. Well, there's another word for those things behind me, right? This is not a blanket.
That is a sheet.
A sheet.
No, but it's a sheet, but it has the thick stuff inside of it.
Oh,
Like
pillow!
Oh, a comforter. Comforter.
Really?
Comforter. Yeah.
Comforter.
Comforter.
Okay,
Okay.
hold on. Is it like...
It's a thing that you have on you.
Okay.
No, it's not a pillow.
Oh yeah, that is a comforter or bed sheet
It's-
or...
It's a big ass thing you
It's
have
a
on you when
comforter.
you sleep.
Yeah, bed sheet.
No, it's bed sheet's a thin one. Then you have a blanket, which is slightly thicker, and then you have a comforter, which is like a sheet, pillow, giant pillow blanket thing, and then you shove the
Just like a waifu.
Yeah, it's for places that get really cold.
Yeah, like our country.
where if your heat
Oh.
goes out, there's a literal chance you could die.
No, because we're Norwegian, we're used to it.
Really?
Let me have
If it's a really, really
fireplaces.
bad winter.
Like, you can get used to cold. Like, if you just walk out in the snow every day, like, you don't feel cold anymore when you get used to it.
I usually walk out in a t-shirt during winter anyways. 15 below zero.
Like, if
Just
you go
going out to the
from-
car and get some stuff.
if you
I'll
go
just wear
from,
my
like,
underpants.
if you go from like Turkey or something, and then suddenly it just drops up at the North Pole, yeah, you will die of frost. But if you get slowly used to it, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
We have
because
a
your
bigger
body
problem
gets
with
used to producing more heat.
Yeah.
Is the issue. But
So we don't like heat much, but cold is king.
We
I know.
keep going off the rail. God damn it.
I know,
So-
right?
you use it as a blanket or a comforter
We are
or
playing
whatever
D&D, right?
term you want
Yes.
to use.
It would be a blanket, wouldn't it? And I'll lay down on the couch and I'll long rest.
Okay, so he's down in the living room area.
Now I want to make sure I have this correct. He is a gnome who is currently wrapped up in a big ass bear pelt.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I do have a mage hand swaddle.
So it's like
What?
tucked in underneath you and around
Yeah,
your
you're
feet
like a
and everything.
burrito.
So now I'm like one of those Indian babies. Oh, I'm sorry, Native American babies or whatever.
Yes, you're
You're
sort
swaddled,
of
buddy.
you're wrapped up in it. Like
Cool.
he
You're-
said, like a
think of-
burrito.
Yeah, like think of an open burrito on one end, except instead of like some lettuce and like a little bit of the meat sticking out, it's your head.
Yeah.
Well, if you did it the wrong way, my meat would be sticking out.
Woohoo!
Zing!
Either way, you are now wrapped up gently by his mage hand.
Ah, do I get temporary hit points because I have such an amazing sleep in my cocoon of?
We will see. Because you haven't gotten your long rest yet.
No, it's terrible.
So, and by the way, you are sleeping in a hostile environment. Even though you're in a cabin, things
This
will
cabin
try
is
to
not
attack the
hostile.
cabin.
The cabin is not hostile. What are you talking about?
So, what is everybody else doing?
As I said, switching watch.
Yeah. So, we'll get to your watches in a minute, but I want to know what everybody else is doing.
I'm enjoying the highness.
Yeah, you're
And
sitting in a
I'm going
room
to
that's
direct-
just a cloud. You can barely
I
see
can't
like
see my.
3 feet in front of you.
I can't see my hand.
Yeah,
I
basically.
can't see my hand, and it's right here. It's right here, and I can't see it. It's amazing. And I'm going to direct my abomination to stay on watch around the cabin.
Okay, so he's gonna be outside.
Then when you look over, you just see Howler standing with 2 eye stalks of the beholder going just.
And by the way, the beholder's eye stalks haven't shown any sign of rotting yet.
Nice.
So they're pretty hard to rot.
Sturdy.
We gotta get them, making them. What are they?
Spectators.
Spectators, I think.
Spectators, yeah.
Should do that.
There are other supplies that you need, but you don't know what they are yet.
Oh, I
have the main ingredient.
idea.
Yeah, the eye stalks are the hardest thing to get, but you do need other things.
I asked the pyramid, what else do I need to make a spectator?
Do you even see where your pyramid is in all the smoke?
No, but I know where I have it on me.
Okay, fair enough. So you take out the pyramid, and it sort of, your eyes glaze over, and you see what looks like a round body, which would contain, which would be the body that would float. And it needs 4 holes in it where you would put the eye stalks. You can put them all on the top, you can put them like equally on either side, you can put them wherever you want, but there has to be a front eye as well. And that has to be made out of biological material as well. So you need a body, it needs to be made of something. Magically it's going to be animated, but you need something that would make the body, and you need something that would make an eye. So you need some sort of material that at least looks like an eye. It doesn't need to be specifically like you could make like a clay figure, or you could make like an abomination, like bunch of biological material to make it. It can work either way, but you have to make something that looks like what you want it to be.
Okay, so I tell Lucius, well, you know, you just need like a wall, and then it needs to have a big eye, and then we jam some more eyes into it. And that would work.
Because most of the magic comes from the eye stalks itself.
There's gotta be a
Didn't you give away the eye stalks?
No, you just need a
we
ball,
have
like a dead thing.
The
You
body.
just- yeah, put it into a ball, and I like make a foot motion with my hands.
No, I get you. I understand. I'm again wizard. My profession is a wizard.
Yes.
I get it.
And then yes, the eye. Like you could take many eyes and just make a big eye, or you could make like a big eye with clay. That's not really an eye, but it's an eye.
And the magic from the stalks will animate it and turn into a living flesh creature.
Yeah, so that's why you need then 4 more eyes.
Alright. Cool. Alright.
Yep.
We'll do this. This is gonna happen.
We're gonna make our own beholder.
No.
Not
Unfortunately,
exactly,
you
but-
can't, but you make a creature that's similar to it that will obey you. It's called a
And I
spectator.
just, you see my jaw drop, and I just say, "You fly, right? You could not each have a personal spectator. You just sit around on that."
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool.
Super offensive to any other like beholder.
You know
Which
what?
gets
Screw that.
Double fucking points, which gets double fucking points. So yeah.
I mean, what even
I
is
wanna-
a beholder? I slayed it in 1 hit. Like, they aren't
Dude,
gonna hurt
alright.
me.
Actually, I know exactly what I want to do at some point. I want to ride these spectators until we piss off another beholder, and then kill that beholder, and then I want to turn that one into a chariot, like its body into like a chariot, and then to make spectators from its eye stalks that pull it as we go around.
That's a great idea. We have to get this Now, where do we find a beholder? I just asked it there, but where's the nearest beholder?
It begins searching, and I'm gonna roll for something.
It's just outside our cabin.
But Ben, didn't you trade
Perfect.
the eye stalks and the eyes for weed?
No, he
No.
didn't.
No,
He was
I was
considering.
considering it,
Oh,
but they weren't working.
sorry.
Yeah, the druid said that they might be more useful in your hands, so then he decided to keep them. Okay. Oof. So,
There's 8 beholders outside right now.
this very
All the
second.
building materials we need.
We'll
No.
make 8 chariots.
Unfortunately, it is very far away. Very far away. The nearest one is in the middle of the Aquan Sea.
We can take a dive. I mean, at some point. It's in the Aquan Sea, I say.
You assume that beholders can drown, so it's not probably in the water itself, it's probably in a cave or floating above the water, something like that.
It wasn't there to see, so it
That's
wasn't nothing.
That's fair. But it is somewhere in the middle of the Aquan Sea.
So, yeah. We'll definitely get on this at some point, but we need his undead army first. I mean,
And also,
undead.
I was going to say that usually spectators are used to guard things.
Yes,
But you
but
can
wasn't there
try to use
mobs?
it in an unconventional way, but it might not work out the way that you hope, is all I'm
What
going
do
to
you
say.
think of us? Of course we're gonna be unconventional.
We need to level up our animal handling.
Yeah, animal.
Either way, so you know that information.
Yes. I just safely store away the pyramid
Okay.
down in my pants.
Okay. Anything else you guys wanted to do before taking your long rests?
Nope.
No, I'll stop wasting time
Okay. Howler?
for the moment.
I don't think of anything now. Not right now.
Okay. So you begin taking your long rest. Which now Zeraskan and the bear, I need you both to make a perception check.
As well as the
Okay.
loose body
Is
abomination.
the
Sure.
perception
The-
check
the
based on
abomination
any
can work
kind
too.
of smell?
Sorry there, Explo.
Is the perception check based on any kind of smell?
Yes, I'll allow it. Because it could
Advantage.
factor into it, so.
That's a 15 on my side, and a 16 on
16.
Nick's side.
1 minute.
Yeah, he's got to pull up his abomination stats, so it's going to take him a second.
Oh, it's actually... What?
What?
Oh. Yeah, well, I'll just use that anyways. I didn't know I could... I didn't know I could click the perception plus 3.
Oh.
So it would have been 19, but... 17.
No, 19. Well, 17 then.
Yeah, that's alright.
A nat 1.
Sorry, this is taking forever.
No problem.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that we would get long rest, so I put my health stat back. I was gonna write 50, but I wrote 520.
You aren't secretly high right now, are you?
It's not a secret.
That's not a secret.
No, it's not a secret that he's drunk. High, that's another thing.
I'm not even tipsy. I've only been drinking beer.
So 17.
Okay.
If I was in America, I could probably drive now.
So either way, even with the messed up rolls and everything, 17 is still the highest. Therefore, both the blue slatty abomination and the bear, they're looking around, and they seem to notice something that they indicate to Zerscon.
Well, he nods and gets out the javelin ready to throw whatever is coming.
You look in the direction that they seem to be indicating, and you see what looks like, there's no light out here, but you see, or other than the moon, I should say.
I have 60 feet of dark vision.
It's a
I
little
have 60 feet of dark
outside.
vision.
Yeah, it's a little outside that, unfortunately. But there's a little bit of moonlight, and that little bit of moonlight is reflecting off of what looks like glistening eyes but beside a nearby dead or undead tree nearby. And it's just sort of glancing in your direction. It's about 80 feet away.
Hulda. Just ignore it. It's probably Hulda.
I knock on the door and trying to get the attention from people inside, but also the attention of my troop, and pointing. As I knock, I point towards the creature with my thumb towards what I'm seeing. So that I'm knocking and pointing with my thumb towards it, so that it is not obvious.
Okay. Did I notice that he's knocking on the door?
Unfortunately, since you guys imbibed in various substances
yeah, but I'm
hours ago.
I'm downstairs now.
Yes. But due to have you ever heard, I'm sure you have, but whenever certain people take certain substances, they go to sleep, and no matter what you do, you can't wake them up?
That's not weed.
Yeah, that's definitely not weed.
However,
I can attest to that.
it is harder for you guys to wake up because
So perception at disadvantage then,
Yes.
to see if he knocks on the door?
Yes. To see if you guys hear it.
A 9! And keep in mind, I'm still downstairs.
So
And
now
even if I would have
Disadvantage,
given you
right?
regular, you still would have gotten 9. So.
Oh. Damn. Well, I will walk over to the door, and I will open it, slightly, and I will say, we don't want any tickets.
However, you didn't wake up.
Oh.
Oh. Does a 10 get it?
You hear a noise, but you can't identify what it was.
Okay, well, I will communicate with my abomination to see what's going on.
Alright. So, how do you wish to do that?
That's why I had a mental. Is that not true?
I don't know. Look at the animate dead spell, because it would have been the same as that. So I'm gonna look at that. Okay.
Benjamin?
Ja.
Du trenger ikke ta med deg Players Handbook, Dungeon Master Guide og Monster Manual i morgen.
Okej.
Det blir i alla fall lite grann lättare i bägaren.
Så potion är bättre, ja.
I böckerna har jag inte.
Ja. Jag tar dit mig igen. Ska vi kanske ta en skrammelböcker så tar jag den bara alla.
You decide!
Yeah, it doesn't say, I don't think.
Says what?
Specifically.
What are you talking about?
The animate dead spell. It
What
doesn't
about
say
it?
if he has a telepathic connection to the creature.
No, it doesn't by normal.
Not if it's... but it's not...
It's not normal.
It's an abomination, it's not a zombie.
Yes, but I was
Yeah,
using the
that's-
same rules as that. But it doesn't say,
Oh.
so I will
Oh,
allow
then
it.
never mind.
I will allow it.
Alright. Cool. So, what's going on, buddy?
It gives you an indication that there's a threat. It can't really communicate with you in a high capacity, but it can understand when you're trying to communicate with it, and it says that there's a possible threat outside.
To arms, brothers! To arms. And then I'll make sure that everybody wakes up and I'll help unswaddle the gnome. I did kind of swaddle. I need
I'm sleeping with a locked door upstairs, so it's gonna take a while.
I
Alright,
will
so
send you a message.
before those guys get into position, Zarascon gets to make some decisions here. So, what are you doing?
Well, I was trying to get the attention of my how do you say that word?
Squad.
Allies?
Say it in Norwegian, maybe we can translate for you.
Yeah.
You're so mean. Sometimes it's
My
amazing.
squad, still the same way that I described before.
Okay. Yeah, they see you.
If they catch the attention of it, that is.
Yeah, they see you. Like, you got their attention, and they see you pointing at the thing, but they want to know what they're supposed to do. Are they going to attack it, or are they just going to let it stay there?
I'm just watching it and slowly put my jacket in away and get out my greatsword. And then I want to try and hold a stealth roll to get closer to it.
Okay. Just so
Okay,
you're
yeah,
aware.
Let's see.
Just so you're aware, I want you to do
Oh.
something.
Yes.
Before you make the stealth roll,
Yes.
it is looking directly at you, and there's nothing between
Oh,
you and
is
it that you can hide behind, so you need to come up with something creative in order to
Oh, okay.
stealth. So what do you want to do?
I do have something that can. I do have something, I hope.
I'm gonna laugh. Edison has
No, I
something
don't
in
have
his
something
bag
out.
that you could do.
Yeah, that's not there at the moment.
Yeah, Edo-san isn't there.
Because he's not there at all.
That's why it would be funny, because it would be a very ironic moment. That's funny.
Well, Anderson had something that was like as good and be like bang.
Exactly. Like as I said, it's funny that Edison, if he was here, and the character you're running, you got this. But this guy, you're like, ah!
Okay, so you're trying to stealth. What?
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
I know. To distract, I get the frog to throw one of its ears at it. Hopefully.
Okay.
And
do you want him to
I
throw
know
it directly at
raise
the
you.
creature?
Picture it's a grunt.
Okay, do you want him to throw it directly at the creature?
No,
or do you
more
want
like a
Okay. So you want him to throw it near the
more like a
creature?
distraction.
Okay.
Can my blue slotty also help by doing
Yes.
a Passover?
Okay. Sure. It sort of goes up into the air nearby. The little frogman is going to get his spear. Whoops. Click the wrong thing.
And are these undead guys that are coming towards the cabin?
You don't know because you're not there. But nobody else knows. You can't see it clearly. So he rolled a 13. He misses what he was trying to aim at, but he hits very far away from the creature, and the creature sort of glances over to look at it. And it's also trying to keep track of everything that's happening, so it's trying to look at the flying thing nearby. So you gained the opportunity to roll your stealth, which is a 22. I'll let you keep that. So you managed to start stealthing over towards it. However, it does have a chance of seeing you. So let's see what happens. It does not see you. So you get closer to it. How close do you want to get? Because you were 80 feet originally.
Yes. I want to get in melee range and just, once I am, I just hold out my greatsword to it and just activate the flames on it.
Okay, so you're gonna just try to attack the thing.
Creating a 60 foot. No, just trying to intimidate it to like surrender.
Okay.
Like just point the sword at it and then just flames, because it's like a torch, but a bladed torch. In words.
Okay. You get a little closer. I'll say you get within 20 feet, and as you're approaching, you look at it again. So I'll need you to make a nature check. Or an arcana if it's better.
Oh, nature. Both are bad!
Alright. You've seen these creatures before as you were traveling. You're not entirely sure what they are, but they're not friendly, and they tend to not give up unless if they have a good reason to give up. And there's only one of them. They usually travel in fairly large groups. This thing is humanoid looking, and it's got white skin. It's very skinny and gaunt looking. You can see its ribs and every little point on its backbone. And it's just sort of crouched behind the tree looking at your group.
Knowing that it's traveler's backs, I back off and return to my squad and the hut.
Okay, so you return to the squad, and it sort of just looks back at you, and it doesn't seem to have noticed that you approached it at all. It just keeps looking at the group.
I just start whispering towards my squad to tell them that we fought these creatures before, that they travel in packs, and now there's just one, so we better be in the watch out for more. And be ready for more.
Okay. And it is at that point when anybody who's in the house or the cabin can now exit the cabin, if you wish.
Cool. I will step out and order my abomination to attack the thing watching us, if he's able to.
Okay.
I am getting a lot of cabin in the woods vibes here. Am I the only one?
Well, it is
thank
a
God.
cabin.
Thank God we don't have a black guy, because he will be the one to die first. Right,
Well, that's
Gio?
why we should have a black guy.
We have a
Oh,
black
wait, we have a
guy.
black dragonborn.
We have a black dragonborn.
There we go. If he goes, boys, we know it's bad.
Alright, well, the creature's just sort of looking at you guys, and then it is also trying to keep track of the thing in the sky. And as the thing in the sky approaches, unless anybody else wants to do anything before that happens.
right now I don't understand the so I will. It'll be in my room for now.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of stuff from the sky that are gaining on us or coming towards us?
No, that's my thing.
Okay, that's your thing.
Yeah, there's a
Okay,
little
how-
creature that is just sort of peeking around from behind a tree, looking at your group.
cool.
However, Zaraskan believes that it is a dangerous creature.
I mean, they're traveling in packs, so they can be trouble.
I thought you said that it was Tim's creature that was flying.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
one
no.
creature that's flying, and there's another creature that's crouched behind the tree looking at your group.
Okay, how far is it?
It's about 80 feet from the entrance to the cabin.
80 feet. We'll just check, fuck. We'll check some range. Fuck.
So when it eventually does, it's going to come in and make that wing attack. It hit on 17.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that Explode
Waiting.
didn't want to do something before. Do you have anything you want to do, Explode, before the creature gets in?
No. I was thinking about throwing a flashbang to get a better look at it, but the area is not big enough to light it up.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna use a few bomb charges and ready action. Some I would say a little blendy. So I'm gonna use 3 bomb charges to make the fuck you frisbee with 1 fire grenade, 1 acid grenade, and let's say a flashbang as well. Just no sticky bomb. There we go.
Okay. So you have that at the ready. Now your creature flies down toward it.
Alright. So flies down, will land next to it, hit it with the wing attack. Does 17 hit?
17, I forgot to have that open, but it probably hits.
17. Where?
I would say that that would hit.
Did you roll?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see the roll
it's
either.
there. It should be in the chat.
I don't
It's not
see
in the
it.
chat.
No.
It's like
Probably.
today your camera, Tim, is not freezing up, but you're having problems in the chat. And Geo's camera is freezing up, but he's not having troubles in the chat.
Yeah, no, I rolled on the app. Is it because I have the app and I have it open in a browser so I can actually look at the map now?
Oh, shouldn't be.
Shouldn't. No.
Okay. Well, do you want me to send you a screenshot of it?
If it's a 17, no. It hits.
Okay. Then it makes it has a possible poison condition to be applied. You make a con save at a DC 15.
You notice that the poison doesn't seem to take effect.
Okay. And then it takes 8 bludgeoning damage and steps like up to it.
Okay. 8 damage. Okay. And as it gets hit, it makes a loud noise, and you hear movement all around the cabin.
Cool.
Every direction.
I will shoot a fireball in the direction of some that I'm hearing with my fireball. wall.
However, as soon as you hear the noise, you need to roll initiative, everybody who wants to participate.
Oh boy. Here we go again.
Alright, so how do you pick the token? What do you choose?
You
You have
make
to
it
select
up
your
then.
token, then roll.
Does it matter which one I pick?
Yeah, you want to pick the one with your name. So one of the blank ones, I think, should be all yours.
Yeah, I'm learning how it is for players because I'm used to being on DM, but for players, I've learned in the other one, in the Horde one, that I can only select mine. I can't select anybody else's. So,
Well, now you can select your allies because I gave the sheets to everyone.
well,
I can select Lily.
yeah, probably because I gave
You
control.
have access to the
but-
sheet. Yeah. If you can select something,
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
have
can see
access
the
to
sheet, that's right. I controlled it for a turn like way back. Back when I was still a young boy.
Yeah, it worked.
Sweet.
It went
That's
in.
why you'd like a token too, because that will actually be easier to see.
Okay, so
So
This-
how do I move it? Do I like click them and then just click the space I want to go to? Do I use that
Just
click
drag
the
it.
joystick?
Drag and drop. Just click and drag it where you want it.
So this
You
is
have to add a
Allies'
ruler.
turn. I got 11. Yeah, there are different tools you can use. You can use a ruler, you can use all kinds of different things. And enemy turn. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. And boop. Okay, 14. Need to put this in the turn order. So that's 14. Boop. Okay. So now it's in descending order. Good. So it is Zarzkan's turn. You hear familiar sounds of what it sounds like a pack of these creatures. Except they seem to have put themselves in place before you guys noticed that they were there.
Okay.
How far away is it now?
There's a whole bunch of them that seem to be 80 feet in a circle around the camp, and then there's the one that you can see that got attacked by an abomination.
Okay.
Okay. So it's my turn, correct?
Yes, Zarzkan's turn.
Okay, I move over to my squad and help them both up and then order them to stay close together for those things, well, hunt in packs as I said before.
Yes, and they are at the ready.
So after helping them up, I ready action to attack if needed.
Okay.
Because I'm daring to bet that I'm too far away from any of those things, because I've moved 30 feet and so, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Held action for when they approach. Okay. Explodes, your turn.
They're
They're
80 feet away,
standing at
right?
the doorway. They're 80 feet away from you. And you can see one of them, but you only hear other ones. You can roll a perception check and see if you can see the other ones, but that's up to you. No.
I don't see the other ones. So I can only see the one that was attacked by the abomination.
Yeah, it sort of got knocked out from behind the tree and is sort of out in the open now. It's this weird,
So it's-
gaunt creature.
So it's closer?
It's slightly closer, but mechanically it's not.
Okay.
It's like 2 or 3 feet closer, which mechanically doesn't make a difference.
How tall is the cabin?
The cabin is 2 stories, and each story is approximately 8 feet.
Okay. So I will use my rocket boots and I will get on top of the cabin.
Okay. I'll allow it. You have to use a bomb charge to do that. Just keep track of it.
Okay, so you want that?
Only
Okay, so
in
you want
combat.
that? Okay, yeah, okay. Yes, good. So I'm gonna do that, and I will still hold my ready action.
Okay. And what are you holding, and what activates it? So
No,
what
it's just
action- Oh, you're holding the same action you were before?
yeah, I'm still holding the same action.
Okay. And it's if they get within range?
Yeah, since I only see the one that the abomination is attacking, I don't want to throw that in the abomination's face.
Fair enough. So when something gets within range. Okay, I'll let you know.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Lucius.
Cool. So I hear movement, right, to like my left or right.
You hear it coming from every direction outside the cabin. So in front of
Cool,
you, beside you on both sides, and behind the cabin.
But my bear will run over, by the way.
Okay,
help
how
the
much,
abomination.
where do you want to move it to?
To the abomination that I know where is.
Okay, he can only reach there using double movement. And he can't do anything yet.
How far away from the cabin was the bear when he stood watch?
He was approximately 3 or 4 feet outside the entrance.
Okay then. Yeah, well he will double move over to the abomination.
Okay,
Or the creature.
fair enough. So he gets within melee range of the creature because he can do that. He's capable of doing that with his double move. Okay. So it is Lucius's turn.
All right. Looking at the map, is it that orange thing or whatever color is that supposed to be the cabin?
Oh, we're not using the map right now.
Oh,
Yeah, we hardly ever
Alright.
use the map.
We never use the map.
Just a token and road.
perfect. I don't know why I'm concerned about this thing. All right. So, fuck all that. I'm going to aim to my right and try to aim towards like the middle of the noise coming in, so I can try and get like 2 or 3 of them with the wand, and I will do a fireball through it.
Okay.
So
So it's 60 feet, or range 150. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can hit where the noises seem to be emanating from easily, or
Cool.
at least one of the areas.
it's 20. It's a 20-foot radius.
Okay.
So it's a pretty large area.
Yep.
It's
You can
20
hit
across.
a few of them at least. So,
All right. So there.
yeah, they need to make a dex save, correct?
Are you
Yes.
using your spell slot or your wand?
He's using the wand.
No, I'm
I
using the
think.
wand.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for something because we haven't determined something, so I'm gonna roll for that first. This isn't for their deck save. This is for something else. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you didn't do that, but now I have to roll their deck save. So it's, and I'm gonna roll 2 of these. So you're
Cool. So they take full damage.
okay. So yeah, your spell save is 17. So
Yes.
go ahead, roll that damage.
So 27.
Just gonna check something. No, they're okay. So, whoops. I need to read that one last thing. Okay, that's fine. So they take that damage.
Cool. And then Blue Slotty swings in.
Oh, by the way, you hear what sounds like the death cry of what sounds like 6 different distinct voices.
Cool. That makes me feel good. Fucking with the wrong house, cabin, whatever you want to call it. This is the
All right.
domicile you shouldn't be screwing with. Alright. Then Blue Slotty swings in with 1 attack. Wasp Sting, 23 hit,
Yeah, 23 hits that thing. And
34 damage.
for the poison doesn't seem to do anything to it.
So then 13 piercing.
Just gonna check. It's still up, but it's not looking great at all.
Does a 14 hit?
Yep.
21 damage, both heads. Bam, bam.
Alright, that thing
Did they
is
just rip him
down.
in half? Cool. I picture like they both heads like grab a shoulder each and then just like rip him from head down, just like.
So, we could make observers out of these if we just form them into a flesh ball.
And then the abomination will turn towards where like the sounds are coming from for more and just charge at them.
Alright, it starts moving towards where one of the sounds seems to be coming from. I need it to make a perception check.
Just closed its screen. Hold on.
Alright, it sees what looks like a group of 3 of them just sort of huddled behind another tree.
Sweet. Coming in to hit 1 each. Like claw, bite the middle.
Unfortunately, you already used 2 of its attacks, so you can only attack 1 of them.
Okay. The left will come in and like just hit that one.
Okay.
13 hit.
13 barely hits, so that's what its armor class is.
15 slashing.
Yeah, and the poison still isn't doing anything.
No, that's what I said. Just 15 slashing. Just.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know that the poison doesn't seem to be really doing anything.
Okay.
Alright. So that was Lucius's turn. Now it's the creature's turn. You see, heading in from the south, the north, the east, the west, and every compass rose position in between those.
Cool, sees.
Except for one. Except for one. I
Yeah,
took
that one point has nothing. Because that one creature that was there is gone.
The 6.
So, the other compass rose positions all have creatures coming in. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think. Yeah, 8. So let me just tell you how many there are. There seems to be 24 creatures
Oof.
heading towards you guys.
Do I see them now?
Oh yeah, everybody sees them because they're moving into the opening.
So
guys
they're
are
in
taking.
range then.
However, one of them is remaining engaged. One of the 24 is remaining engaged with the abomination.
But are they in range? 60
Of your
feet.
attack. Yes, there's a. Each of them has a. Each of these compass rose positions that I indicated has a group of 3. So you can aim for one of the groups of 3, but only one of the groups of 3.
I will aim for one of the that I back. Like probably.
Because there's some coming, approaching the back of the cabin as well. There's
Yeah,
some approaching
I
the
will-
back, there's some approaching the sides, and there's some approaching from the front.
I will attack the ones coming from the back.
Okay, that's fair.
Which means fire grenade, acid grenade, and a flashbang. So you have to make a shit ton of
Okay.
one deck save. I'm pretty sure the acid grenade is a deck save as well.
Yeah, they're all deck saves
Yeah.
except the flashbang.
Yeah, it's a constitutional.
So, so dex. So I gotta roll 1. Yeah, they all fail. The first one.
Fire
They
grenade,
succeed
yay.
the second one.
Fuck.
And the con save. The con is just a d20. And they fail the
They
con
just
save.
fail that. Okay, so they take 13 fire damage, no acid damage, thrown back 10 feet, and get knocked prone if they are able to. How does the damage on the fire look?
It
Does it
looks
look
like
like
it hurt them, and they're all bloodied in that little group. However,
Okay,
it
cool.
wasn't like extra effective or anything like that.
No.
So they're not weak to it or anything. They do get hurt by it, however.
Okay.
So
So they get 10 feet knocked back. If they can be knocked prone, they're knocked prone.
yeah, they're knocked prone.
Cool.
They just look like weird people who haven't eaten in a while and are very pale looking. 13.
I just thought it was a little weird that you had 46 on the fire, but I guess it's just that way. But I noticed something on the acid that you would probably love. If you do it against objects, they take max damage. So if you use
Yeah,
your
so-
acid against metal or something, you would automatically do 36 acid.
Yeah, that's for siege damage. So against doors and stuff.
All those banks I could have broken into way fucking easier.
Yeah, and I didn't know that either, to be fair.
I didn't know that
So-
either.
Well, now you know. The more you know.
Now I know. The more you know. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, and
The
that
more
damage
banks you can rob.
that damage is siege damage, which means that you can like attack a city wall and do a bunch of damage. Stuff like that.
Doesn't technically say siege damage, but it is acid, so if the structure is weak to acid, then it will be double.
Siege damage is means that it's good against structures. That's all that.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, but if I'm trying to like
Specify that,
fuck something up that is made of plastic,
Ooh. So
I
you
don't know.
never know.
You don't know. Your character wouldn't know much about plastic. Because
Let's
plastic
see,
isn't
work for-
a thing that the world has invented, at least readily. It's not readily
Well,
available.
you can make plastic out of potatoes, so
Just so you're aware, if it's siege damage on acid, then it would mean you would do automatically 72 damage, because siege is doubled, so it's 36 acid damage.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 36 acid damage. It's not technically classified as siege damage, but if the building is weak to acid, then like if it's a metal or something, then it would drop 72. So
Okay.
take that.
So, yes. The term siege damage usually refers to when it's doubled, but that's fine. I
Yeah, we don't
use
have
the
to
term.
do it
I
too
just
much.
use the term whenever you're attacking a building or a structure. But that's
Yeah, like it's a special thing. Like you can actually do siege damage, and it's always double whatever amount. But we don't have to get too much into it. It's just
That's
something
okay,
I
that's
noticed.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
that's okay. Shut up.
It's just the way that I use it, and that's fine. Either way, it is now the enemy's turn. So those or that was the enemy's turn. They moved closer. That was the enemy's turn. Because that's all they can do. However, I'm going to get everybody to make a perception check. I forgot about that.
Is it sound based or vision?
Vision. Vision only.
Okay, then I don't see.
10.
Wow.
Is it sound based?
Because
I barely got a 13.
everybody's rolling crappily. However, the bear notices something, and it sort of hip checks the nearest person, which it can't because there's no one near it. So it can't do anything. It just looks in a direction and it roars. That's all that you guys know. And same with the blue slat. It looks in a direction and it notices something, but you guys don't know what it notices. Because it can't communicate. The only things that see it are the things that can't communicate. Perfect.
Cool.
So, it is now your ally's turn. What do you want the two people that are with you, Zerskan, to do?
The two people, well, to stay close to him. What's the closest creature to me?
They're 20 feet away.
Well, I move up to that creature, ignite
Oh,
the
it's
blade.
not your turn yet.
Oh, I thought.
It's your allies' turn.
Just
Okay, well,
squad.
I order them to stay close, so they stay close, and well, the grung, because grungs have poison skin and can poison their weapons, start throwing at the target, so to say.
Yeah, you as a player know what that thing is, but your
Yeah.
character doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the poison frogs. Either way, he doesn't know that the poison doesn't work, so he's just gonna rub one of his spears with poison on his body, and he's just gonna throw it at him. And he rolls with a... Yeah, he hits the creature, and he would be dealing more, but since the poison has no effect.
So that's the.
He deals
It's
10.
Still quite hefty.
It's a good roll.
Yeah, because they're basically little javelins that he's throwing. So he deals 10 damage.
Teeny tiny javelins.
Yeah, but he
If
can
you
only
didn't
throw
know,
one
but-
per turn because he's not very skilled. He's not the most
Yeah.
skilled. Your big bird friend, he has a big great sword like you have, except his is not enchanted. So if he's going to be sticking by you, he's going to ready his attack for when they get closer.
Well, the thing was that Sarskan and the bird person thing protect the grung since he can do range, and once they get close, well, then we hack into them. Since I can move up to one now, we move up to that one, next one, and then, well, hack into that one.
Okay, so you guys are going to charge... You're telling him to charge in, basically.
Yeah, at
Okay.
the closest one.
Okay, so he's going to attack the same one that the grung attacked. So he's just going to do his attack. 15 to hit, that hits. And he deals 14 damage in a single strike. Decapitating that one particular creature.
That's one less.
Alright. So, it is now Howler's turn.
Yes.
You hear,
since I
like,
have a fireball, so I
yeah,
know
you heard the
something's
explosion,
happening.
you hear growling approaching closer to the outside of the the cabin. You hear like swords and other implements hitting creatures. You do hear enough.
The first thing is, would I have gotten a short rest?
Yeah, it would have been over an hour.
Okay, I'm back to full.
Go.
You know, it's important with HP. In the panic for my nice vacation home, I will quickly unsummon it, falling out of bed.
Alright, you quickly unsummon it. There's something that you didn't realize. So, Howler, you need to make a dexterity saving throw because you know that this is going to happen. So you're falling approximately 10 feet. So you have a chance of negating the damage entirely.
35?
Yeah, you negate the damage entirely. However, there was someone standing on the roof.
Well, I would have known that, so...
Yeah, there's no way you would have known that. So, so I need to roll a d6, because he's falling a little over 10 feet, but it's each 10 feet adds an additional d6 damage. So, X-Blow, you take 3 damage as you suddenly have nothing to stand on, and you fall.
What the fuck?
I woke up, basically.
You fall.
By the way,
you
would
fall
I have
through-
gotten a short rest?
Yes, by the way, everybody would have.
Okay. Everybody gets it. You get a short rest. You get a short rest. You get a card. You get a card.
I don't know. No,
I can't
don't
remember
know
my
how to pay
hit
that
die.
sales dice.
Fuck.
And here's what happens when this happens. a puff of smoke just appears in the area where the
Great.
cabin was, and Explode just falls through it, making this like thought bubble from a comic strip like cloud with even like the little tail thing that goes to a person hanging down from it.
But what does it say?
It doesn't say anything unless if someone wants to take a turn and like jump up into the cloud and write something in it.
Can I do it?
Since we get good use of
As a bonus action?
I'll let you
No.
use it as a free action if anybody can actually jump 8 feet in the air.
I will just look around because I have not really. So I will see if I see any enemies. So
Okay,
perception.
so now you can make a perception check. Yeah, you see plenty of enemies. They were surrounding the outside of the cabin. Now that the cabin's gone, they're probably just going to rush in on everybody.
Okay, so
However,
since they're surrounding the cabin, how
okay,
many
I
can
just
hit
wanted to
in a-
say that with that perception check, you see that there's one that's quite a bit bigger than the rest of them. Just sort of.
Okay, and where is that one?
That one is slightly behind. It's approximately 40 feet away from the cabin.
Okay, and what is it doing? Just watching?
It's just sort of like you notice. Yeah, you got high enough. You notice that it's sort of pointing to each of the people, and some of the smaller ones look back and see where it's pointing, and are heading in those directions.
Okay, so I would like to bonus action hide, and I will closer to this creature without it noticing me.
You are surrounded, so I'll say that you're skilled in stealth, so it's at disadvantage.
Sure. So
Although they didn't expect that thing to happen, so that's the only reason I'm letting you roll the cabin to disadvantage.
So I will just use luck because I don't want them to spot me as I try and assassinate this dude. So 21, because that's terrible.
That is pretty bad for you. Considering that's a 6 on the dice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great.
I'm still a bit iffy after all the stiff stuff we did. That's why.
Okay. So you got a 21. So what were you trying to do? You were trying to get to the bigger one?
Yeah, without it spawning me, preferably.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, it gets a chance to see you before
Yes.
you arrive. So, and if you wanted to
How
get
far
within
away
melee
was
range
it?
of it, you
How-
can,
how-
because you can use your action.
Yeah, but how far away was it?
It was 40 feet from you.
Okay, so I have 40 movement speed, so I don't need to use my action to dash.
Oh, okay. But it has a chance to see you, so it's just how it works.
Yeah, that's fine.
By the way, Matt, how many hours would you say it had been since we entered the Undying Woods?
You've been here for 3/4 of a day.
Which means
Okay, then.
18 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it has a chance to see you. Boop. It doesn't notice you.
Okay. Is it surprised? Because it doesn't seem like anyone else has noticed that.
It is not surprised because it's in combat. That's
Okay,
how.
that is fair. That's fair. I always have to try.
It's expecting somebody to attack it, but it's not expecting you specifically, but unfortunately it's expecting something to happen, so.
Yes, and I will strike it with advantage because I'm hidden.
Yes.
So it's the left numbers.
Okay.
Which is like almost max roll, like 2d8, both max.
Okay, this one has 0 on it, so I'll use this one. Okay, 25.
That's like 5 less than my absolute max I could do with that one strike.
Something like that. Either way, it gets stuck in the back as you sort of just dart around behind it. And it looks back at you, and it speaks in common.
Okay.
It says,
Ah, where did you come from?
My mother.
He's not wrong.
it doesn't have a chance to respond yet, so it says nothing else in response yet. So
Yes, I
you
just
use your
did another-
action, use your bonus action to hide, and you're full up. You're done. Your
What
turn.
about my action surge? I have 10 of them. No.
If you were a fighter, if you leveled up one time in fighter, I think you get an action surge, don't you?
2.
2? Well, if you had 2 levels in fighter, then yes, you could do that. But you can't, because you don't. So, Zara's gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, what is now the closest creature that I can see?
There are 2 more that are right in
Oh.
front of you.
Okay, move up to those. Ignite the blade. And time to hack into one of them. Time to see what they can take.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
He did.
Smite.
24.
No, he doesn't need to smite. That thing is dead already.
Yes, but he could do a lot of damage, you know?
Okay, second attack. Let's see. Now the other set of the spectrum. Watch it. Natural 1. Not a natural 1.
Yeah, you still hit.
That's not bad.
Oh,
Doesn't
well.
a flame tongue have fire damage?
Yeah, that's what I also was questioning. Why the hell? Where is my other set of damage?
Your
Yeah,
other
but
set is
still,
on the
it's
left side,
over
just,
damage.
Like, Dio,
Yeah,
your other dice. Oh, actually, yeah, you're missing a crit. That's true.
yeah. I already activated.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's better. Far better.
Yeah, so that wasn't your 15 damage roll, was it?
No.
Okay. 15 hits, so roll the damage for the 15.
So there's a 13 and a 10.
That creature is dead. You did 1 over its hit points. So
Hell yeah.
they have 22. The little ones have 22 each.
I do take the gun with me. Then I move up to the large acro crab looking, says kangaroo looking creature.
Mhm.
And then put the gun back down on the ground since, well, it's better on its own than being held at its own things.
Fair enough. Anything else?
And that's about it. Since
Okay.
I can take an, since no one has heard of my squad, so yeah, that's it.
Alright. Explo.
Sup?
It's your turn. You just fell off a roof that you thought was still there, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Hurt my bum bum.
Yeah, you took a couple points of damage.
How far away from anything is my bear?
Your bear is still out in the open. It ran towards somebody, but that somebody is dead.
Yeah, but you said groups of 3.
Yeah.
It was
The
alone.
one that your bear killed was the only group of 1.
Okay. Idiot.
Yes.
Okay, the closest group to my bear, how far away?
You see that the abomination is currently attacking one. And it's approximately 10 feet away from you. Or the bear.
From the bear?
Yeah.
Okay, so the bear will run up and it will bite it.
Alright.
That's a 14 hit.
Yes.
10 piercing damage.
Alright. It takes that piercing damage. Let me just... Yeah, that one's down.
Is there anything close by again?
No. The rest of them have ran towards the cabin. Or where the cabin was.
Do I have to use my multi-attack immediately, or can I use one attack and then move attack?
You use one then move and attack, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this isn't Pathfinder. Pathfinder, you have to use all your attacks at the end of your turn or something like that. But
so how far away is the nearest enemy?
It is approximately from your current position 60 feet. And you already used 10, so you can move 20 closer to them.
No, we can move 32. No, 30.
Yeah, I can move 30, but you already moved 10, so 30 minus 10 is 20.
Yeah, but the movement speed is 40, so it can move 30 now.
Oh! I didn't know it was movement speed was 40. Okay, that's fine.
It's 40.
It goes 30
so
instead.
It will move 30 feet closer to the nearest enemy, and I will use 5 bomb charges, and it will contain 4 acid grenades. How far away from each other are the 2 groups that are closest to me? The 2 groups that are in threes. How far away from each other are they?
You have 3 groups that are equidistant to you, and they are approximately 20 feet away from you.
Okay. 20 feet away from each other?
They're 20 feet away from you. They're approximately 10 feet away from each other.
Okay. So what I want to do with the 5 bomb charges is that they're going to contain 4 acid grenades, and I will aim in the middle of those 2 compact groups, and in midair, one little charge will go off, and they will split up and go into one group each.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
That's 4 acid grenades in the face.
Okay, so one group is going to get 2, the other group
One
is going to
group is going to get the 2 first ones, and the other group is going to get the 2 last ones.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. This is group 1. So it takes 18. And this is group 2. Yeah, all of those are dead in group 2.
Okay.
So you have 2 groups that are full of bloodied creatures.
Coolsies.
Okay, so it is now Lucius's turn, unless if Explo had anything else.
I will use my movement, and I will walk towards my allies.
Okay.
He'll probably run, but, I won't dash or anything. More hover, because I have my rocket boost, so I will just hover my movement speed instead of walking, because that's hard. Just because I can.
That happens. Okay. It is now the enemy's turn. The 2 groups of bloodied ones are going to move towards Explo.
Wait, isn't it my turn? Did you just skip me?
I did. My mistake.
So
I'm not dead yet.
I will point my fireball wand again at 2 groups that are close together and fire it off.
Go ahead.
So DC 17 again.
Okay, those 2 groups. We're gonna roll
for exactly what it needs to kill him. Haha.
Yeah, so technically they are knocked unconscious, but later on you can just kill them.
Yeah, they're gonna die. So, bam! Hit them.
Alright, they fly back.
Corpses.
They fly back like the satisfying explosion would do. Just make them go all over the place.
And then the blue slotty is going to move towards the big one.
Okay. I need it to make a perception check to see if it notices the big one, because the big one is hiding specifically. It does not. So it can't move towards that one because it doesn't know it's there.
Alright, then it will move towards the next group, and can it get up to him and attack?
What's its movement?
30?
30? Unfortunately, no. Can't reach the next group because they're approximately... They're over 60 feet away.
If the slotty, didn't the slotty know the sky I'm fighting? Wouldn't it see me fighting it now?
The creature that you're
something
fighting
else.
is stealthed. The only reason you noticed where it was is because you rolled high enough.
Yeah, okay. No, I just thought that was a noticed earlier. There,
It didn't attack anybody yet, so it didn't reveal itself.
Yeah, okay.
When
That's
you get
good.
an attack, did it drop its stealth?
When it gets attacked, it doesn't drop stealth, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it will then just double move towards the next group.
Alright. It is at the next group. Enemy turn. The two injured groups are going to move towards Explode because he's the closest one, unfortunately. That they can see at least, because Howler might be closer, but he's not visible to them. Or at least when he was moving, he wasn't visible to them. So they just rush towards Explode. And what is their chance to hit here?
Very high.
Isn't this the two groups that he hit with the acid grenades?
Yes. So they fell on the ground, but they had enough movement to reach him after getting him. Unfortunately.
No, I get that, but I thought he dealt enough damage to one of the groups to kill him out entirely, so it was just one group bloodied.
There was one group that was bloodied, because I'm keeping track of them. One's over here, and the two that he attacked were over here, so he completely decimated one group from healthy to nothing.
What about the group I hit with my? What about the group that I hit with my held action?
Yeah, that group is over here, and you wanted to
Okay.
attack two groups, so you attacked these two
Yep.
over here.
Yep.
And one of those two is gone, and the other one is attacking Explode now.
Yeah, and the other group that was knocked over with his held action is also moving into attacking.
Rolls to hit.
So the first group misses. The second group with a 23 hits you.
No, they don't.
And you need to make a Constitution saving throw, my friend.
20.
Okay, you're fine.
The
But
weed got you through that, buddy.
It's the power of 420, my dude.
I mean, it is a performance-enhancing drug, apparently.
No, it's not.
I know.
just making sure I'm doing
I
this
know.
right.
They're just saying that it is, so they have an excuse.
You take 22 damage.
Ew.
Is that it? Shit!
As
Do I
all
take?
three
Do
of
I
them.
take less? Do I
all-
take less damage because I'm high?
No.
Aww.
You think you take less damage.
I think I take less damage, but I don't.
You're still super mellow, so it doesn't feel like it's as bad as it really is.
The creatures are wondering why I'm kind of looking at them and smiling right now.
So here's what happens. All three of them just sort of swarm towards you and they hit you with their claws that come out of their skinny fingers.
Ugh.
That is not hygienic at all. You got something.
Yeah.
You need to get
No.
the TB shot right.
No,
away.
I already did the TB shot. I got a good constitution save. Can I make like a
That's
mini
right.
roll to see if I can what would have happened if I got didn't do
You
the
can
save?
make a nature check to see if you know what these creatures are, and if you do, then you might know.
Okay, so my next turn then.
You can do that now if you want.
Okay,
It's
sure.
a free action, so you can do that now.
25th.
These creatures are known as ghouls.
Oh, those fucking things.
So you would have been paralyzed had you not made your constitution save.
I am seeing
Wait,
myself
you.
cutting off fingers after.
You would have been
Game is
paralyzed in place. So then next turn, they would have been able to hit you at advantage.
Yeah.
So,
And start eating you.
yeah,
Because
basically.
they're ghouls.
Yeah.
Ghouls like to eat.
And they can talk, they can be reasoned with, but nobody's tried that yet. So,
They're very
Well, I
clever
was
about their
going
reasoning
to.
position.
That's on my turn. Like I just had one turn, so
yeah, you attacked the guy, and he spoke to you.
yes, and I responded, but that was the end of that turn. So
Yeah.
Maybe they're targeting me because I have 100 of human beef jerky on me.
That could be it.
That might also be a possibility. You sense that with that nature roll, you sense that if you gave them a bunch of stuff and you tried to reason with them, like if you gave them a bunch of human beef jerky, they might leave you alone and just go away.
I'll be
So-
I need that beef jerky. It's easier to just kill them.
Fair enough. You can kill them. They are fairly easy to kill. At least the ones that you're facing. So the big guy is going to attack Howler because Howler is revealed himself and is closer.
yeah, I'm still just smiling at it. So let's see if it hits.
Okay, so the bigger one has rolled an 18 to hit.
Okay, 18. That will he have to reroll because fuck his poison stuff. I don't know what it is.
Alright, he rolled a 13
Okay.
instead. And he tries to claw at you. Okay.
I just hope that's the most dangerous attack. Should be.
Okay. That's for later. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, it tried to attack you with its claws. Its arm almost seems to dislocate, and the skin stretches slightly just to try to hit you, get closer to you to hit you. But you still manage to dodge out of the way of it, and its arm just sort of gets relocated into its socket, and it goes, "Stop trying to stop my children from having a snack."
I will then just, without dropping a smile at all, I'll look back at this creature and I will say, if you don't step down, I will turn your children into snacks.
Ooh.
Alright, make an intimidation check.
Let's see, intimidation. I will luck, just because that was cool. So 26.
Alright, he looks at you. He realizes how much damage you did in one hit. He looks at how many of his children, quote unquote, remain. And he sort of just turns and says, "Children, time to leave." And they're all starting to retreat.
Okay.
Whether or
then
not
I will-
anybody wants to let them go is up to you guys.
Yeah, could I like keep talking with him this turn, or Stop it.
Unless anybody wants to intervene on this situation and just gratuitously kill a bunch of them, then you can continue the conversation. But if people want to go around and just kill the rest of them, then the conversation probably won't matter and he'll try to kill you anyways.
If they are close enough. Otherwise, nope.
You see that they are turning around to retreat. And you see that there's still a whole bunch of them dead, littering the ground.
And I will
Echo.
So,
actually, I will tell him that if you are really looking for your children to feed, I would suggest you work for us. We'll have a ship and plenty of food to go around for all your children.
Really? So you have people we can eat?
Of course, there's people you can eat.
Okay,
As long as you work for
no.
me. I don't tell it loud enough for everyone to hear me. I'm like 40 feet away.
he's still stealthed. No, wait,
Yes.
no, he's not. He attacked. So everybody
Okay.
does see him now.
But we're keeping our tones down. Like, we're not yelling this out.
He did yell for them to retreat, so
Yeah,
everybody
that's fair.
does know he's there and what.
But I'm talking about this conversation. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
say,
fine.
yes, we have people you can eat out loud.
Make
So
a deception check.
yes.
And I know that your deception is better than persuasion, but
So 26.
he goes,
If what you say is true, then perhaps we will. But for now, we will go to our home.
And where is this home of yours?
he points north of your current position.
I try and get some more details, like how far north, like.
You get the sense that perhaps he was smart in life, but now he doesn't have that amount of intelligence. He just says,
About a half day.
because he can tell time. Like,
Yes.
they wouldn't
So I'm
go
just
that
thinking to
far
myself,
away from their nest because they don't like sunlight. They don't get hurt by it or anything. They just don't like being out in the sun.
So I just think for myself a little, and I say, your children will find their way back home, right?
Yes. They
I
are
think
slightly
you-
more feral than me.
And I think you will stay here until we come to some sort of arrangement. As you did attack us for no reason. But however, we're generously allowing you to live.
He sort of glances to the rest of the group, as I assume that some of the members of the group are at least approaching at this point.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
think so at this point.
Okay.
Obviously we would.
You see that Zaraskan and anybody else who is approaching, you see that he is somewhat calmly communicating with this creature.
So you subdued the threat, or what?
Well, he...
Okay, go ahead.
Was he saying something? Oh, I was just saying, well, he's not as dangerous as he looks. Decided to have a little chat. Should we return to the cabin?
He looks at Zaraskan, and this might ruin your attempt to persuade him, but he says,
We apologize for attacking. We didn't realize how powerful you were. We were just hungry.
Hungry for what, if I might ask?
Flesh.
Yeah, Explo knows what those things are, so he can tell you. But the guy is going to be a little more um careful because he sees that you're more seems like you're more oriented to kill him. He's familiar with what
Yes.
people look like. So he goes,
Well, you see that there isn't much here to eat. We assumed you had some delectable delights we could feast on.
You see it
Well,
here.
if you mean just some very meager rations to keep you going for at least a day, then yes. Delicacies, no. And if this
Well,
place is so sparse in, so to say, food, why not move elsewhere?
because we have been rejected from most settlements just because of what we are.
Well, you see, then, that works perfect. The reason we're here is to recruit an army. So if you and your followers come with us, we'll benefit both.
A leader should a leader should not just be a leader should not just depend on others, but the leader should have his people depend on him, and if he can't get into any town, then he will set up a next town for his people, as
Well,
did I.
we have a facsimile of what you call a town. We have a place where we live. And
And still you're running low on food, it seems.
well,
I kind of tug. What was your new character's name again?
Zerskan.
Zaskan?
Sarazan.
Hold on.
Sarazan.
Can you look at the turn order? Can you see the turn
Yeah.
order?
Yeah, I'm scrolling up, but I can't find the guy.
It's
He's the one with
Straskan.
19 initiative.
Straskan.
Oh, there. Yeah, Sarazan.
That's how. No, that's.
Straskan.
But you
Yeah,
pronounce it like
remember,
Zaskan. That's how you pronounce it.
Sarazan. I'm just gonna call you Sarazan, that's easier. Or just said. I got a tug Sed's pant leg. I kind of whisper into his ear, it means human flesh. He's a ghoul. If you didn't notice, you dumb fuck.
Well, he is not smart. I mean, a -1. I have a 9 intelligence. Idiot, a 4 of 10.
I
Yeah,
know.
he didn't roll nearly high enough on his nature check to know what these things are, but he knew that they
Yeah.
attacked him before, similar creatures. But
Yeah, well,
he
I
didn't
tell
know
them that
anything
they're
else.
ghouls and they live of humanoid flesh.
Which means
Or
we
any
can
type
get
of
a bunch
flesh,
of
really,
ghouls.
that they can get their hands on, but they
Okay,
prefer humanoid.
okay. With this new info, things might go south hard.
Okay, if you
As you reach for your sword,
as you reach your weapon,
as you reach for your sword, I will hold on your hand, and I will say they can be reasoned with.
Thing
They
is,
was
that-
like us before, if I remember correctly. They've been
Yeah,
turned, right?
they're undead. They're classified as undead, so they were
Yeah.
people before.
They were people
Yeah,
before, they can still be reasoned with. They're not mindless.
thing is, I never stated I sheatheded the great sword. I just stated that I extinguished the flames.
Okay. So you have the sword, but they're stopping you. Like, you look like you're about to cleave that guy in half, and
Well,
Explo is attempting
yeah.
to stop you.
Like
So,
if you actually go to like strike him, I will also pull up my crossbow to you, if that's how far you take it. But that's up to you.
I take explobiters and just pull them aside.
Okay, so that didn't happen on my part.
Okay.
And I tell him, so you're telling me that these creatures need to stay alive for what reason exactly?
As you've heard Harold before, we're here for an army. And vicious killing monsters is always good for, especially when you're thinking about what you're facing. Use your mind greatsword or whatever.
An army that sees his people as cattle? You mean?
Cattle?
Cattle, yes.
Cows. In case
Yeah, I know
you
that,
didn't know
but
what that was.
an army who sees his people as cattle, I just didn't...
No. The
That's-
leader of the army who sees his army as cattle.
No,
You're talking about Hull, right?
I'm talking about Howler seeing his townspeople as cattle for his
I never
army.
said that out loud. Like that's like you
No,
didn't hear me say that.
that's not
No,
what I said.
Zerescon is asking that. He doesn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the army that sees its townsfolk as cattle.
And I don't technically.
Because you
do
did
that.
tell me you had a town.
Yeah. Well, I'm not there. I'll shut up.
So easy correlation.
Yeah.
I would say that's a bad army.
Well, if it's a bad army, we'll just destroy them. Easy peasy.
Well,
It's still worth a shot.
I say my army would be far more worth it than this army.
Yeah. And what do you get if you put your army and this army together? A bigger fucking army.
That would be a very uneasy alliance.
Sure. Our town is an uneasy alliance.
Okay, so while this is happening, are you putting the cabin back out?
Yes. At this point, I'm bringing the creature back to the cabin. So yes.
Yeah, I was asking Ben.
The cabin is gone.
I guess you didn't see the cam, so yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't bring it back out.
Okay.
That was
Yeah,
not
I'm
in my
not.
thinking.
Just so you're aware, I don't normally look at them. I look at the roll 20. But anyway, that's fine.
Well, now I know.
So he resummons the cabin and he brings the creature inside the cabin. However, your hot box has dissipated into the air during the fight. So.
Oh. Well, as they move over to the cabin, I just kind of tell the General Ghoul or whatever.
He's basically a ghoul alpha, which
Yeah, the Ghoul Alpha then.
they're called ghasts, but this one is a lot stronger than normal ghasts.
Okay. So I tell the Ghoul Alpha that if his people return, they might get incinerated, because I'm gonna booby trap this place up. So that would be an unwise choice.
Well,
He says,
better be careful with your people, because I will protect mine with everything I have.
he says, I can simply signal them to keep the denizens of the forest away from your encampment.
Good
Instead
sis.
of going back home immediately.
How
So you can
gracious
rest.
of you. And yeah, I'll just say how gracious of you.
Because they're
Well,
undead, they
thanks.
don't need to sleep.
Okay. I'm still gonna booby trap the place up though.
I've set up. Well, if you knew where my encampment was, that is. Well, does he know? I don't know. Now,
So there's 9
You
booby
haven't
traps
told
around
them-
the cabin.
Yeah, you
Yes,
haven't
I
told
know.
them much about where you're from, Zerescon. But where you're from is just like a place that's in the middle of the wilderness that you carved out to keep a permanent base camp, and then you would send people back there, that sort of thing.
Yes, so like a small town / village, you could say.
Yeah, it wasn't there before, but it exists now because you needed a place to stay. And you know that the official towns have shadow creatures in them from time to time, so you didn't want to go to an already established town, so you went in the middle of nowhere and made a little place.
Okay.
So yeah, well, I would then like to keep talking to the guys as soon as we like got settled. But if anything happens before that, then that'll happen.
Okay, so let's see
by
what
the way,
everybody
Matt-
else is doing first.
As Expo is walking around the cabin and booby trapping it, it's gonna be 9 traps and it's gonna be acid, so nobody step on them.
Yeah,
I will tell my team where they are.
If I see you walking around, I will please ask you to keep them outside the cabin.
What? Outside the cabin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah,
Around-
I thought you were
around
putting
the
them inside
cabin.
the cabin.
Yeah, I'm putting him on the walls inside the cabin. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's
good.
just
well,
sort of
that's- I
hanging them
understood.
on the walls like
Yeah, like
mounted
Christmas
deer
decorations
heads.
all over.
If you open this door, guess what? Acid!
As I do that, I will take a nature check to see if I can salvage any parts from the ghouls to make shit out of. Basically, like fingers for, because they have paralyzing ability.
Okay, make an additional nature check because you know what they are. But okay, yes, you can harvest poisons from them. That would be
Okay.
the best thing that you could do with them. But
I will
anything
do
else, like they're decaying, rotting flesh. They're undead creatures, so their innards are not good for anything other than poisoning people.
So I'm going to ask the necromancer if we can augment the blue Lottie's claw attack with the bull fingers.
He says,
Well, as I've described before, if you try to put too many things on one abomination, it may not work and it may get destroyed. But you can try. Certainly.
Are you saying that we take capacity on mine?
basically, if you try to put too many parts on it, it just won't work. The parts won't work.
No, I understand. And like I said, my thing was switching out its fingers basically with the ghoul fingers, which have like their tracking claws to paralyze. So it still does its slashing attack. Now it does the poison and possible paralyze.
You can try it, he says. That's what he's told you. But he says if
Yeah,
you try to
maybe,
mix
like
too
he's
many
saying
things,
no.
it might not work.
How many vials of poison do I get?
Well, if you do it like later, I could probably help because I know about poisons at least.
Yeah, I'll just say that, Explo, you harvest the parts that have the poisons in them, but you don't
Okay.
have the poisons yet. So you
Yeah.
have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So unless if anybody stops you, you have 10.
10?
I'm
What?
going to
Fingers,
take-
10
hands?
sets of hands.
10 sets of hands.
I would take. Wait, no. I'm gonna take one set.
Yeah, but the problem, Lucius, is that I did the nature check and you don't know yet. Because I haven't told you
Well,
yet.
he can make a nature check, to be
Oh.
fair.
Yeah, you can.
Tom, I think your
Also, just ghouls.
little one wants attention.
No, he's got gas.
You sure?
I'm literally holding him and rocking him.
Yeah, like
Oh.
he's a Jew. He got.
Well, pat
This
it on the
is my
back and
This is not my first child that I've taken
Okay.
care of.
okay,
He's-
just be sure to give
he's-
attention when needed. Just making sure.
I do. Thank you very much. Basically saying I'm a shitty father from across the states, from across the land.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I take care of my kid. I make sure that he's got what he needs when he needs it.
I think the Geo just get uncomfortable and the presence of children crying or making noises, basically.
That just grabs my heart. I'm like, oh god, I need to do something, but I can't. That would be weird.
Ah,
You gotta
Yes, the dad in me is strong.
You gotta
Why do you have children, you?
What?
You have children?
No.
18 in
Oh,
nature.
well then.
Alright, yeah. You know that ghouls have a paralytic ability that they use when they claw people. You're not entirely sure how it works, but you know that they have this ability.
Well, it's gotta come from the hand attack in some way.
Yeah, you know that it
Or it's
comes
head.
from the hands because it only happens when they claw people, but you're not sure how it works specifically.
So I'll take an entire set of not just the hands, the forearms, and the bicep, parts of the shoulder as well.
Okay, so Explo, while you're gathering, you see that Lucius just cuts off the arms of one of them.
So I have 8 then.
No, you
No,
have
you should have 9
you
sets.
have 9 sets of hands. He has 1 set of hands.
Arms.
Instead of arms.
Well, yeah, but the hands that Explo was looking for, the other 2 are on the arms that he has.
Yeah, sure.
So.
As I see him doing this, I'm asking, why do you taking basically just need the hands to get the poison?
I'll just look at him, look at the arms, and then I don't know if I want to go for the full cool arm effect or just the hands. I'm gonna have to see what I'm gonna throw these on.
On yourself?
No, on another abomination. Kind of nod towards the blue slotty.
Oh. That's cool, sees.
Yeah, that's why
Cool.
I want them. I'm thinking of maybe doing a quad arm creature, and these will be like the arms underneath. I'm not sure. That's why I'm taking the whole shoulder structure and everything.
Try and
So
make
if I have
it
to-
like multi-attack, right? That has
Even
4
more
arms.
multi-attack. Yeah.
Yeah, it already has a super multi-attack already.
Okay.
Well, no, this would be on another abomination. Set
Oh.
it up to have.
Oh, you're gonna make another one.
Yeah, eventually, and have that
Okay.
have 4 arm attacks and then 1 bite attack. So 5
Oh,
full
and by the
attacks.
way, Lucius, when you're animating
Yeah.
these things, each day you have to expend a spell to keep them under your control. Otherwise, they go feral and just try to kill everyone.
Oh, and by the way,
Sure. I mark it off.
Okay.
Matt, by the way, how many hands was I able to collect before I saw Lucius?
I'll say that you collect
because
the rest of them.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
did
then.
set up the bomb charges, so I started collecting hands, and then I saw him. So how many hands was I able to collect before I saw him? Was I finished? Did I get all the
You were
9
just about
sets?
to go to the last one, and you see him just carrying the arms.
Okay, so in that case, I will also walk over to the last one, and I will do the same cut that he did, and I will tell him, wouldn't it be cool with an abomination with 4 ghoul arms instead of 2?
Plus 2 other different. Yes. Yes, that might actually. Yes. I like where you're going with this.
So the last set that I cut off will be the same cut as his, and I will, since I know that I haven't that much space in my bag of holding, I will turn them over to him. And I will just keep the 8 ghouls.
Okay, so you have 8 sets of ghoul hands, just so that way you remember. So
Yep, I've written it down.
8
2
times
sets of
2.
ghoul arms.
Yeah. So it's 8 times 2, and then he has 2 times 2.
16.
I'm just writing down 8 pierced ghoul hands.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the rest of their body is just
Gosh.
rotten meat, basically.
Coolsies.
Yeah, the rest of their body is just rotten meat.
Yep.
You could use to poison somebody if they ate it, but They would have to eat it.
What kind of poisonous effect would it? Like just diarrhea or?
It would give them the poisoned effect.
Okay.
Super E. coli.
Super equal. Nah. I'm not guessing it would kill a guy, so I'm not gonna. I'm
No,
not gonna
it
bother.
would give them the poisoned effect because they have food poisoning, basically.
Yeah, but they would have to ingest it, and then
Yeah, they would
it
have
wouldn't
to
kill them. Yeah, so it wouldn't kill them, so I couldn't like just assassinate a guy with ghoul bowels.
It's possible.
Maybe a commoner.
Because people do die from food poisoning sometimes. It does happen, but if the person has any amount of constitution, then they'll be fine.
Do I know how long it will take before it takes effect? Will it take immediate effect, or will it like linger like for a little while before, just like food poisoning, basically?
Yeah, they would have to digest it for a while.
You'd have to set them up. So so it could work, but this is how you'd have to set him up. You'd have to take him out drinking super hard, so he gets dehydrated. Then, right at the end of the night, you basically introduced the ghoul balls that were like deep fried to like, hey, this is a good way to like suck up some of that last liquor, get us a little sober for the morning. Feed that to him, and in the morning he's dehydrated. He gets the runs, and then hopefully he dies from the dehydration.
Well, you could. That is a possibility, but it depends on their constitution.
Well, he'd at least be a disadvantage on the con saves after that.
Yes, but
Ooh, and then the medicine you're giving him is just laxative.
Things like this are possible, but like I
Or
said,
more
that would
ghoul
depend.
bowels.
That would
More
depend
ghoul
on their.
bowels. There we go.
That would depend on their constitution. So if they're really good at constitution, it will be a lower chance of it succeed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother.
And even if you brought them out drinking, if they have high constitution, they might not get drunk. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother.
Okay, that's fine.
So if we get a long rest in the cabin, extracting the poison from the hands
Yeah, so the ghoul
during the long rest.
He sort of walks out the door and he makes a weird noise, and a bunch of ghouls surround where the cabin is, and they seem to be, every once in a while, it seems like they're pushing something away, and then it just goes away.
Like it's pushing something away? What do you mean?
Yeah, the ghouls that are on the outside, it seems like something is coming towards the camp, and then they just sort of push it away, and it goes away.
Ah, okay. Like I thought they were taking stuff from the camp and just like, no, this is mine. And
No. They're pushing things that are outside the camp that are coming towards the camp away, and then they go away.
That's a lot better.
Yeah. The one thing that I was gonna do, he's just not trusting these creatures at all.
Is it more dead stuff that are coming?
If you want to watch, you can, but if you want to take your long rest inside the cabin, then you won't be able to see.
So I will just
Can I have my familiar owl look, and like I look through its eyes as it like kind of flies overhead. I speak.
Okay, I'll allow it. Yeah, you see that there's some undead creatures that are attempting to approach the camp, and they seem like they're not very smart, not even as smart as the ghouls are. And they're just sort of stumbling towards where the camp is, and then the ghouls just sort of push on them with their hands, and then the undead creature just sort of turns around and goes a different direction.
Looks like we got the creme de la creme for the dumb zombies.
So yeah, what I'm doing is like I'm getting in touch with the two other bank members. So like I'm sending a message to Lucius and Nextflow, and I'll say, well, I think we should hire this guy. He looks suitable for a job. And then I sit down in the cabin like with the ghoul.
Okay.
I'm prepared to talk.
And I can answer the message, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can respond.
If he has to sign a contract, try to slip in somewhere that They can't eat people that we don't allow them to eat.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Only enemies.
I mean, I'm guessing all their contract is from the book of the demon guy or whatever. So
Well,
basically,
I have my secrets.
if they fuck up and eat one of the townspeople that we didn't allow them to eat, they will basically just fucking die. The book is able to do that, right?
It
Well,
supernaturally
I have my
enforces the rules. So depending on what the rules are, it enforces them in different ways. So one Howler knows this, but your character doesn't. But
Yes,
I'll let you know so that way you have an idea of what I'm talking about.
That was more like a player. I've just asked about the book because I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
it can do that, but like
Explo would still use that as an argument that we have to be able to control them from not eating our townspeople.
Yeah,
Well,
basically
of
he
course.
has monsters that he has under control. Howler does. And when the monster just said, well, if you let me out of this room, I'll give you whatever you want. And then he took some blood from it, and then it walked outside of the room and tried to attack him immediately, but it couldn't attack him, and it felt pain each time it tried to attack him.
Cool, sees.
So, that should kind of give you an idea of how it works.
So yeah, but in character, I just say I have my secret. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it will work.
So in character, he's assuring you that yes, that's going into the contract. So you sit down with the ghoul, and
Yes,
he's
it's
just sort of
overcome.
he's got his legs up on the chair, kind of like a frog, in a frog-like position, and he's got his hands between his legs on the chair, and he's just sort of sitting there looking at you.
Yeah, I will start the conversation and I will say, well, you might have noticed that I have some bodyguards outside work for me as well. Did you see the dragon, the yeti?
Yes, but we made sure not to get their attention. They seemed like
Well,
too big of targets.
Because we all forgot they were there.
let me ensure you that they too work under me. So you were mistaken in believing they were the larger target.
Well, we learn from experience.
Indeed. Now, how about the positive experience? So I offered you a job. I'll offer you your very own ship as well. As long as you work for me, you'll be able to eat lots of creatures and keep your belly full.
Well, that sounds reasonable, but we need specifically humanoid flesh. If we feed on animal or beast flesh, it simply goes through us and no digestion happens.
Explo, would you mind offering him? He might be hungry.
Oh, I guess it's hungry. Would you consider one jerky as a ration? Or how many jerky?
You have 100 rations if you have a barrel. Yeah.
Okay, I gave him one ration of you.
Alright, he looks at it.
You know what? He's a ghoul. I gave him 2 of it.
He looks at it, he sniffs it, and then he realizes that this is indeed human flesh. And because before you guys were just assuming it was human flesh. At this point, he just sort of grabs it and he goes,
It's a little dry for my tastes, but
It
will work.
But yeah, it's meant so that we can enjoy it as well. With a smile.
He goes,
Perhaps you're closer to us than we thought.
and he grabs another piece, eats it.
Maybe, but not in height. You're way up there.
Yeah, he's a little bit taller than a human, a regular human.
But yeah, I will then ask him again. So, what do you say? Work for me, and there will be more of this. And fresher at some point.
He goes,
If you want us to work on the sea, that might be a problem. Not many people on the sea, at least not easily locatable. But if you want us to work on land, we can easily find prey. That would be acceptable.
And I will just say, well, you'll need to get from place to place. Around the Aquan Sea, there's many settlements.
Well, if we do need to travel by boat for any reason, it would be appreciated, but we would prefer the quickest travel with ample supply.
I think that settles it then. I'll make arrangements for you and your people to work for us. We'll provide you with the resources you need.
Just a warning, though. If we are deprived of food for too long, we become more feral, harder to negotiate with.
I will take that into consideration.
Be unfortunate to have to.
And I will kind of just message Lucius. How long is he speaking about?
What?
I will just message Lucius with that, like, how long is he speaking about? Like, how often do they need flesh?
Guess I'll do what Arcana check or.
You probably have a
That'll be nature, man.
necromancer.
you can ask the necromancer for help.
No, like I meant Lucius that he could have advantage if that's fine.
But he can
Yeah,
just
they never
ask the
out.
necromancer, so I'll give it to him.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I'll
You
ask
only
you
have a
this.
+5 in nature, you newbie.
Yes. And
What?
that
You
gives
only
me
have a-
advantage.
You only have a +4 in intimidation, you newbie?
Alright,
What?
with a 13,
I'm a tiny gnome. Very intimidating, but I'm angry. Like this little thing you can just pluck up and move to the side. Super
way.
intimidating.
for his nature check, here's what you've got. You know how most creatures work, and if he works anything like those creatures, within a week they need to have something to eat. Though most creatures like to hunt for extra food, so he might only need a little bit of food each week, but he'll want more because they say the sensation of hunger still exists in their body.
Okay, but I don't need like a full ration. Yeah, right? Like a taste.
We have 98 rations left of human jerky. It just depends on how many are coming along,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, he's got about 15 left.
Well, because what
I
I'm
mean,
thinking is like if
You
we
guys
start-
are sitting at the table, right, discussing this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting at the couch, so I can hear their discussion. Right?
Yeah, I messaged you,
Having an,
so you should be
Yeah.
able to be there if you want.
I'm pretty sure we're having a
Since
thieves camp.
hmm?
And I'm pretty sure we're having a thieves for discussing.
Yeah, but
like,
you can message.
over and-
Thieves can. It's
Well,
hand
message
motions.
is
Well, you don't
almost
need to.
entirely telepathic.
Yeah, like when
So-
I want to speak private, I do like message, but normally I'll speak.
Well,
'Cause
I don't
when
have
we-
message, so Expo gets Howler's attention,
Yeah.
and he starts making thief cans motions towards him, and he actually tells him that he is pretty sure that Gio and Lonnie took the boat or the ship.
He asked you not to tell.
I know, but this is kind of important because Howler. I mean, in Howler's plan, it's like get on the ship and then travel fast. We can't travel fast anymore, and
No, but they can still travel to places. So
yeah, we can still travel, but we can't travel as fast.
Oh,
Which
that's what you
means
think.
that we need to be able to control the ghouls for a longer period of time than we would have had to in the flying shippy thingy.
we can. Well, I won't go over the details immediately, but I think I would like to cross. If they go feral, then you know. I won't discuss
There
it currently.
is another couple of options. You could just send them where you want them to go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
and
Off with the head.
and they have to do what they can
What we
on their
said,
way.
Yes. But yeah, I will then proceed to speak with this creature, and I will say, well, it sounds like we've come to an arrangement, unless there's any specifics you would like to mention before you start your employment.
Well, not overly, as long as we're fed. That takes
As you
care
can,
of most of our concerns.
as you can see, we can fix that.
Yes, if we need any amount of rest or downtime, we will expect.
So here's the thing. In order for us to kill this binding, I will need a drop of your blood and from your fellow ghoul.
Can I do a quick nature check to see if I know how ghoul needs per week of human flesh to stay
Yeah,
up
we
to
said
feral?
1 week. We just did that thing.
Yeah, but how much? I'm thinking about how many ghouls can we feed per week per person?
For
Basically.
one body? Like
Yeah,
if
for
you
Yeah,
killed
one-
one person?
One
Make a
grown
nature check.
man. One grown man. How many would that feed?
Okay, make a nature check.
Oh shit! Fuck.
You're not sure. But you know that the same thing I gave to Tim.
Can I help him on that though?
No, you're
Give him
upstairs,
advantage?
aren't you?
Unfortunately, he's asking this question when he has no one to help him. So you know that creatures tend to eat more than what they need, especially feral creatures. So if they went feral, they would eat way more than what they should be. So
Well,
Yeah.
since Expo's not sure, he will just ask the alpha straight up.
alright, okay. So
First off, he will ask how many in his pack there is, or group, or whatever.
he says,
Well, we do have an additional 40 or so back at our nest.
So let's just add it up to around
40?
50.
yeah, 40. 40.
An additional 40 or so. So we'll just make it up to 50, a nice round number. Then we'll ask him how many of you gets fed equivalent enough on one grown human body.
He says,
Well, it depends on if we're starving or not.
If you're not starving, if you're sustained.
Well, normally 3 or 4 of us could share one.
That's a shit ton of human bodies.
and he's
How the
referring
hell
to
are you guys still alive?
he's referring to one human-sized person, not one dwarf or
Yeah.
smaller-sized person.
I did say one.
that would
I
be
did say
smaller.
one grown man. So
Yeah.
one grown man would sustain 3, maybe
And
4
how?
ghouls for a
Am I
week.
there to be able? Am I there to also be able to speak to him? Or is it just Expo?
It's just Explo who's talking to him at the moment, but you can talk to him whenever you want. You can come into the room if you want.
Okay. Yeah, and if I hear that question, I'm going to then ask, and how often do you need to?
Well, we
To stay sustained.
we
I
become
think we're going
feral.
around again.
We
It's 1
become
week.
we become feral entirely after a month.
So if you fed one time a week, would that be enough
Yeah, that's enough to
for
keep
now?
them normal.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
start
But yeah,
getting more feral after a week, but after a month, if they get nothing, they turn entirely feral and just become murderous.
All right. So we basically need to get about
And
25 to
he
30
also
people in
mentions
a week.
yeah,
We're gonna need about 13. Yeah,
he
13 people.
also mentions that he can control some of the feral ones because he's stronger.
okay, so we actually just need to finish, but we don't. I don't say that out loud because that's
He didn't say all of them. He said some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he can exert his
Five?
But
control.
there's more powerful ones like him.
Is it 5? Is
He
it
can
10? I want exact numbers.
he
8?
he can
7.5?
he can exert control over them, and then as long as they get something to eat, they go back to normal. But if he's not there to control them, or some ghoul or ghast that is of equivalent power to him, then they'll just go feral forever and kill people.
How many in your pack is as you? Basically, wondering how many in this pack that are alphas.
We currently have 3.
Okay, so 3 alphas. Talking about
About 60.
Because
40,
otherwise, if they
approximately
needed to eat that
47.
many people all the time, there'd be no people left in the world. So there are some that can control the other ones that need to eat more often. But the other ones, if they get separated or whatnot, they become
Yes.
monsters, basically.
So since they've done this for a while, I simply just bodies a week would be to sustain your army or your pack.
As I said earlier, we will keep him fed for as much as he needs. Now let's
Yeah.
just come to this agreement, as I spoke of earlier. We'll need your blood and that of your other ghouls. Just a tiny drop will do.
Well, most of them are not here at the moment. I
Then
can
begin
send
with the ones that are here.
I can send one of them off during the night to retrieve the rest, but that will take some time, especially if you wish to continue traveling.
We do, but we can meet them on the way. So yeah, I will let him do that, and I say for everyone here, does he agree to the contract? There will be small writing in it if he notices.
Well, he's not that smart,
not
is
as
he?
smart as a living person. I can tell you that much. Yeah, regular ghouls have less intelligence than a civilian or a
Commoner?
peasant, commoner, yeah, which those tend to have 8.
So
But
basically,
the alphas are a little bit smarter, so they're actually smarter than some people.
so basically, it'll be like the big text that says, "Yeah, we'll keep you fed. You'll feed for a bunch, like as long as you work for us and do whatever we say, and you can't attack us because we're your allies." But in like small writing, it's just like, but you can only eat things that are deemed our enemies. Like you cannot attack or harm anything that will Howler and its associates, which means basically the guild members, the bank members. I mean, like the chairman of the bank, like us for them. If we consider them allies, then they attack those things. So it's basically like, yes, you can eat much of stuff. I have all the good things, and then it's like limited. Same as like you could find a website that says, "Get your iPhone, just $1." but then it's like, yeah, you have to pay this.
Yeah,
It's
$1.
like shopping on Wish.
It's,
This is
the
totally
iPhone
free.
is $1, but then you have to pay for your phone
Yes.
plan and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Parts that, of course, they have to follow our command if they get that. We're the boss, but we will ensure that they are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's not right. Important.
you're basically a pop-up ad.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Sexy, lonely women near you.
I don't.
Are you gonna put that in as well?
No, but I just had an idea. Like the small right there, I'll put in half.
Okay, you can do that. And you can do
What?
a series of things. Like you can put like little clauses in, like have you ever seen the Santa Claus with Tim Allen? How when he picked
Maybe.
up the Santa Claus suit, he had this card on it, and on the card they had to use like a microscopic lens to see this writing that went all the way around the edge of the card.
Yeah, basically like that. Like it's super like hidden message. You won't. You'll have to take a really, really good look to notice it. Like.
Okay. So I have
I mean,
a
check if you
DC
want.
set. I have a DC set based on what you would normally put on the thing. So
Okay.
he's gonna have a look. He's gonna look at it. Cause he's one of the smarter ones, so he doesn't have a negative. But he doesn't have a positive either. So you have a decent chance of succeeding here. Yeah, he doesn't do it.
Nice. so he
It would have been so funny if he nat 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he would have
but-
nat 20'd it. He would have been like looking at it really closely, and he may have perhaps understood halfling. But luckily for you, he doesn't. So he just sort of looks at it. It looks fine to him. He just sort of takes his nail from his finger and he just sort of scratches it against one of his other fingers, and he just lets the.
Does he get paralyzed?
No.
He's immune to it. He's immune to it, unfortunately.
I just had to ask.
He's immune to it. Like he's immune to other poisons. He's immune to that as well.
Yeah. What is his name? Because I should see that now, right?
Yeah, you're going to in a second. And he scratches his finger, and this black, thick ichor just sort of drips out into this like big ball, like approximately this big of a ball of blood, just sort of onto the page, and it just sort of very thickly oozes out. It's not like the other blood. The other blood was more. Any other blood that you've encountered has been more liquidy, let's say.
Yeah.
But this particular blood is very much more ichorish. And he just sort of licks his tongue along his finger in the wound. Seems like it's still there, but he's slightly caused it to not leak anymore after licking it with his long snake-like tongue. And his name comes up as Jeremiah. Nothing else. No last name.
J-E... No. How do you spell that?
I will grab that for you.
Germarura.
Jamurora.
Germarura.
Okay. I spelt it wrong, but it's giving me the correct spelling. So it's J-E-R...
J-E-R...
E-M...
E-M...
I-A-H.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
He doesn't have a last name.
Yes, that's fine. You don't need a last name when you're dead.
It seems like that's what they use. They use just generic names for each other. Because they're dead and they probably don't even remember who they were before.
That's fine. So yeah, I just... congratulations aboard. You won't regret. Now for your goals outside, and we'll start gathering all of them. I assume that happens.
Yeah, you can do that in the morning, because they'll still be there.
I'll probably do it before I go to bed.
Okay, so then if that's the case, they're keeping things away, so you're gonna have to go to each one of them.
It'll take a bit longer, but yeah, sure.
Okay, so they technically have names, but I'm not coming up with 15
Yeah, that's
names
fine.
just for
Like,
this.
they are like that one is important. The others are goose.
Yeah.
Number one.
Hey, hey, I need to know what the one from the fourth from the left, what its name is, because that's going to become my new little pet.
Well, if that's the case, then it might be relevant.
Unfortunately, unless if you use a necromancy spell to control them, they are not controlled by you. So,
I'll talk to the necromancer. We'll come up with something.
because you technically can, they are undead, so you can control them if you want to.
So an animate dead spell wouldn't work.
Animate dead spell would work, and they would have the same stats, but they would get a saving throw at the end of each day.
Right. Save that in our back pocket.
Because it's mostly used for if you're in a tight situation and there's a bunch of undead nearby, you can control one to attack the others. Is mostly what it is.
Yeah.
But you can potentially keep them under control.
But yeah. As well, we could at this point we command them to I could probably command one of them to follow you around, but I want to get the rest before we do anything crazy that will make them suspicious.
I'll just say that
Yeah.
regardless of the contract, they still have their own minds. So if you start getting them to do things that they probably wouldn't normally do, a lot of them would either refuse, because as you didn't tell me that this was in the contract, they can just run away.
Yes,
come back.
but they have to follow our orders, which means if we order them to not run away, then
Yes, but there's limits. Like, if you order them to never run away ever, then eventually that order is gonna wear off.
yeah, I'm aware. So that's of course limitation, but if we keep a close eye and don't completely abuse them, it will be fine.
Yeah. Because then they could just wait a while, wait until you're not paying attention, and then run away. But
Yeah,
anyway.
I see. That's why I tried to be friendly with the dragon.
Some of the other parts of the contract will still be under effect. Like, they can't attack your allies and stuff like that, but they might just go and attack other people.
That's fair.
Anyway, so the night
Also, that's
ends.
not our problem. They're not our allies, so fuck those guys.
Alright, so, the night ends. The new day begins. What do you guys want to do?
Canada disappears, and we head in the direction
We had a long rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Question.
For once. Woo!
Because you convinced the ghouls to be on your side, and they scared away anything that would have came close.
So yeah, I suggest that we move in the direction of the lair for the necromancers and to see them on the way.
Yeah.
So the
we head
leader
in
of the
that way.
ghouls is going to go with you,
Yeah.
but he intends to send the rest back to the lair, so that way they can prepare for whatever it is that you need them to do.
Yeah, okay. What we wanted to do was to meet up with the others in the lair, if that was possible. But we want everyone under the contract.
Yeah, so they're gonna go back to the where their nest is, get all the rest of them, and then try to meet you at the lair.
Yeah,
Because who knows how long you're gonna be at the lair.
that's fine.
So, the rest of the ghouls vacate the premises, and the ghoul leader is following with your big group of people, who is making sure that nothing approaches from behind while you're traveling.
Basically, I just speak with Explo and Lucius as we're on the way, and I say, Like, I have a few ideas, like one of them, and I would like to make a history check. What do I know of Atrander? Does that seem like a place that would contain wealth of some sort?
On the map, it's called Arton Dur or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you can roll. It would be a history. Yeah.
18.
Yeah, that's just a small village.
Okay. But the small village means it's likely not a shadow dome.
The shadow went all over the world, but there might not be a shadow dome if that's what you were referring to.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a small fishing village. It's actually on a slight, a higher plateau, and there's like this. It's kind of like a small mountain, and it has like a lake that's inside the mountain, and they fish from there because apparently there's plentiful fish there. That's the biggest attraction there is that there's good fish there.
What I want to suggest to Explo and Lucius is that we send them down towards Atrondur and raid the place and bring back anything of value.
Sounds like a good plan, man.
And if there's nothing left, then they will keep heading south to Akornbal. Sure, there will be something there. And even if there's a dome, the outskirts.
And you know, Lucius would know for sure. Aquan Ball is surrounded by a wall of water that looks like a sphere. And since they're undead, they won't drown, so they can invade the city in unconventional ways.
Yeah.
Should we just send them directly there? Make sure nobody lost Atrondur.
Sorry?
Alright.
Yeah, okay, so basically the idea is we're gonna command them to go down to the city of Aquan, have their fun, raid and plunder, and bring everything of value back up to, like I'll now describe the temple.
Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna wait with your group until the rest of them return, because it would be just more efficient if he had everybody with him.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's the idea. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, Artender is, for you guys as players, one of our previous PCs was from there.
Yeah.
So, that's why it's on the map.
And that's the place where the wizard was from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he's from. It's just a small, quiet village that he was going to retire to after his adventuring days, but...
Which means it should be stockpiled with loot, you know?
However, when he was there with his family, the shadow came and he managed to prevent it from grabbing him with his magic, but unfortunately he wasn't able to protect his family.
Yes. But that means down there they forgot to collect their pension money. Like, they would have their retirement just laying around there, not time to collect it. It's perfect.
Well, villages do have access to money, so there is money there, but how much? You're not sure. There's no way to be sure. Your character would have no way of knowing.
Yes, that's fine. Well, that's all really, so I guess we'll keep moving.
Alright. So whoever's leading the way, you can have advantage because the necromancer can help you, because he's from here. Whoever's rolling to lead the way has to make a survival check.
Who's leading the way?
I don't know. I have a +3 and...
Well, unless Zaraskan has higher survival.
Probably has.
2.
I've won.
Okay, no.
So I guess I am leading the way then.
If you want to.
Well, I have the highest survival ++ thingy. Magigo.
Yeah, so the necromancer can help you, because he's from here.
16.
Alright, so you're walking along, and suddenly you notice that the necromancer doesn't notice, because this is how I do help. The help is the second number, so whoever was rolling the second number isn't, well, if it's higher, then they're the one who discovers it, and if they're lower, then it's the person who discovers it, that sort of thing. So, Explo, you notice that there's a tree that seems to have things hanging off of it, and as the necromancer's just sort of blundering his way forward, because he's from here, so apparently he thinks that he knows everything that's been here and will ever be here. But things change in a undead wood, apparently. And you see, Explo, that there are what appear to be skeletons hanging from the tree. By nooses, by the way. There's like 5 of them hanging from the tree. However, as the necromancer starts to walk by closer to the tree, the skeleton's arms start to move towards him and start to try to grab him, but he doesn't notice.
Can they reach him?
If you don't try to stop them from reaching him, yes.
We're hanging by nooses, right?
Yeah. And another thing you notice is that the rope also seems to be animate, and it's moving the skeletons closer to him.
Okay, how close are the skeletons compared to him?
Oh, they can reach him. You need to warn him or do something else to prevent them from grabbing him.
Okay, so I can just warn him.
That is a possibility, yes.
Okay. I will still ready action of flashbang, and I will... If they grab him, I will throw flashbang into the skeleton's face that grabs him.
Okay. So what do you say to him? Because he doesn't notice. He's just sort of walking by the tree.
Are they yours? And I point at him.
And he sort of just looks over and he goes... And he just sort of steps back, and the tree itself begins to bend, and the ropes that are connecting the skeletons to the tree are bending, animated somehow, and the skeletons are reaching towards him.
Okay,
And...
flashbang.
Okay. Okay, so they need to make a Constitution save.
The necromancer has to do that as well.
Yeah. Just give me a second, I'm looking up skeletons. 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 This is before skeletons. That's why I'm not finding them. Skeletons. I'm not finding them for some reason. That's weird.
SKE.
I was looking in the book, but they weren't.
Book. Let's see. So I have my handy dandy tools for that. If my tools were to be loading, there we go. Blah.
Just a regular skeleton.
Regular skeleton. Monster Manual, page 272.
270. 70. Yeah, I stopped before I actually got to it. That's why I didn't find it. Okay.
Obviously.
So, con saves. Okay. So the skeletons are thrown back, and now it's time for the tree. Because the tree is in range.
Yeah, but it's the necromancer thrown back as well.
Yeah, but I didn't roll for him yet. So the tree gets thrown. It doesn't uproot or anything and fall down. It doesn't go prone, but it gets thrown back. Like the top of the tree just sort of throws back. So now the necromancer. He rolls the same, so he goes flying back and falls onto the ground. So, you guys see this, everybody in the group.
Yeah.
You see the weird tree with animated skeletons that is trying to grab people.
Okay, let's just move around it.
It's possible, yes, you can walk around it. Although, Lucius, you might be interested in that tree, if you want.
It's kind of interesting, but it's like a skeleton tree. Like it has skeletons that it's using to grab people. It seems like.
Yeah, the tree moves. The ropes move that the skeletons are attached to, and the skeletons move.
Honestly, if I really want, like, if I start going down this road, I'm gonna go down this road on everything. So I'm gonna just have to come back here later.
Okay, I'll get you to roll a history check before you leave. And Lucius specifically is the one doing that. Okay, you don't know.
11.
You don't know.
Fucking
So-
shit.
You don't know. But it's weird that there's like 5 people hung on this tree and the tree is moving too. So it's kind of weird. It's notable.
Oh no, it's super cool, and I want to definitely explore. But I'm pretty sure these people are not going to be cool if I'm like, hey, we're going to just go ahead and check that thing out now.
Okay, that's fine. So you keep a note of it, and you continue along. So we need another survival check with the necromancer's help.
You got this, G, or Preben. I believe in you.
13.
You suck.
I know.
Alright. This time, you're just sort of wandering. The necromancer is slightly... He seems like he's too focused on arriving at the destination quickly. And you start to try to get him to pay more attention. And as you do, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Explode.
Well, it's 20. Yeah.
Alright. You managed
Plus
to
5, as always.
Yeah, you were just about to reach towards the necromancer, and then you realize your footing is you're just slightly off balance, so you leap towards the necromancer and just sort of grab onto him and hold onto him. And I need everybody else behind him, which is everybody else, to make dexterity saving throws.
Don't forget your 3 plus 5.
Yeah, because you're next to a paladin who has an aura.
So,
Yeah,
21.
bugger.
So we get a +5 to this?
Yeah,
Yes, goes my charisma.
because he has an
Right,
aura,
that's-
because he's a paladin.
So 17, or 18. No. Sorry,
18,
hold on.
18 plus 5 makes 23.
23.
The paladin fails. How?
Yeah, so the earth begins to open up in a familiar fashion to what's happened before. So everybody else easily just sort of steps away from where the hole is opening. However, Zarashkan,
Mm-hmm.
you just sort of keep walking, and suddenly there's nothing for your feet to touch. So then you have your Wile E. Coyote moment. You hold up a sign saying "uh-oh," and then you fall into a hole. And suddenly, just as quickly as it opened, it closes.
Uh-oh.
So, Zereskan, you are in a dark place. You have dark vision, even though Dragonborns normally don't. Correct?
What was that?
Do you have dark vision?
Yes. Well, not for myself, but thanks to a piece of equipment, I do.
Oh, you have a piece of equipment that allows that. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're Dragonborn. Dragonborns usually don't. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I gave them some pretty good equipment to start off with, because you guys have a bunch of stuff. You are in a cavern underground. You see writhing roots above you. And in front of you and behind you, you see, within 60 feet, correct? You have 60 feet?
Yep. But
Okay.
I can do one thing to make me not use my goggles of night, and that's just literally igniting my greatsword.
Okay, but yes, you see within 60 feet of you still, is the point.
Yes.
So, you see in front of you and behind you, two weird-looking lizard creatures just sort of staring at you. They're
Well,
not
if they're
moving,
not
but
if they're not
they're
attacking,
looking at you.
if they're not attacking me, nature, I guess.
Sure,
See what they are.
sure.
Don't fail me now. 13.
13? Yeah, you're
Yep.
not sure what they are, but you see the telltale signs on them that they appear to be not living, but they are still animate somehow.
So I get ready to see if they're gonna get attacking me.
One of them moves, the one behind you moves slightly closer. And you sense that it's moving closer.
The flame tongue greatsword is lit, just so you know.
Yep. Your sword is lit, and as you turn around, it sort of slightly backs off, and then you hear the one behind you, like the one that you turned away from, is starting to skitter closer to you.
So I do the one thing, and that's just light up the roots.
Okay, so you're just gonna shove upward?
Well,
sword?
shoving upward, yes, to, well, make literally a giant fire display above me, I guess.
So you stab into the roots. I need you to roll damage, so just roll an attack and then just get the damage off of it. Okay.
That is 19.
Okay. So the fire seems slightly more effective than the slashing damage. And a bunch of the roots retract, and the fire just sort of shoots down this large cavernous hallway that you are currently standing in. You see that the cavern goes on for quite a ways before it turns around a corner that you can't see on both ends. So the fire just sort of retracts down the hallway, and you can see those little dots of light go really far away before they vanish.
Yeah, and the lizards, are they like backing away?
Yeah, they see the fire and then they get spooked slightly, but then as soon as the fire goes away and you just have your sword, the one behind you is moving closer to you, and the one in front of you is just sort of keeping its distance.
Okay, I kind of lash out towards them, one of them, but not like in trying to hit them, but more scare them away.
Okay. Make an intimidation check.
12. I won't roll it well.
Alright, the one in front of you seems to be backing away as you're just sort of exuding this fearful presence from you as you're trying to scare it away. However, the one behind you just sort of leaps towards you, and I need you to see if you get hit by this.
Okay.
16.
No.
Alright, it slams into your armor behind you, and you hear a sizzling sound on the ground after it hit you.
Okay, that's it. Time to die.
Okay. You can roll initiative if you want. Everybody else
Yep.
is above ground.
I mean, I am not going to slash nicely. I'm just gonna slash hard and painfully.
Okay. Oops. The wrong thing.
Natural 20, of course, not when I need it.
They have an 8, so you go first.
So, first attack on the first one and then the other one. Let's see.
Okay.
21.
21 hits. For some reason, some of them don't show up. I don't know why.
And that's 4, 9, 16 damage.
Okay. 16 damage. That one,
Yep.
since some of it was fire, that one
Yep.
just skitters away.
And
Immediately.
now for the other one. 15
That just barely hits.
or 20 total damage.
Yeah, and that one skitters away immediately, and that one looked bloodied after you struck it. And the fire seemed especially effective.
Yeah, now I just start letting the fire spread into the roots so that I can get back up, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, the roots don't like fire at all. So you set fire to them, and eventually there's a hole that opens, and it's pretty long. The hole that opens. It's approximately on the surface, the hole that opens up is approximately 40 to 50 feet long and 10 feet wide.
Yeah, I start climbing and use my greatsword to keep the hole open and not closing on me.
Yeah, but the roots are gone. The roots have retracted
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay, so I start climbing up as best as I can, I guess. I don't know. What the hell I
Okay,
can do.
you're outside, I'll say. Because there's plenty of people there to help you, and we're going to be ending soon, so you're out.
Well, we can go on for a little while if you want. I mean,
I don't want to go on too long because I'm having
Okay.
plans prevent tomorrow, you know.
okay,
And I actually have to go to work tomorrow.
okay,
Really?
okay.
Yeah, so
But
yeah,
work,
I've
Out
been
of the
notified by a
hole,
couple of
let's-
people
Yeah.
in the background that we should be stopping soon. So, yeah, you managed to get out.
Yeah, so I'm out. So do I see it? Yeah, everyone is out there.
Yeah, they're all there, and they were just about to start trying to get you back out when suddenly the hole just opens.
What? You scared that I couldn't fight for myself?
Guys,
Yes.
I'm just gonna have to leave. I gotta get up
Okay.
early.
Okay.
Well.
I was
well,
only
good
going to go
luck.
for a couple more minutes, but
It's
Yeah, but I need to just get some food and go to bed. I need to
okay.
get up early.
Well,
See ya.
good
So-
luck.
Prevent, did you see what I said? Like,
Which one?
the Discord one.
Ja, altså Jeg skal bare opp i Jeg skal møte noen klokken 9 og gi noen nøkler, skal jeg hjem igjen.
Ok. Jeg begynte
Så
å
det
lure
er bare
litt at
Nei, da hadde dere fått vite det litt grann før.
Ja, ok, det var bare sånn plutselig. Ja,
Så
let's see.
I will see you guys later.
Alrighty. See ya.
Bye bye bye.
Ja, bare.
Alright, so we can just end it there, but I wanted to
That's,
let you guys run this particular scene out.
Yeah. So he comes up and just looks at everyone like they were and goes like, what? Thought I couldn't fend for myself.
well, nobody said that.
Well, the voice seems to be impressing something else.
Come again?
The voice seems to be expressing something else, but
Yeah, your
if you
voice
say
is
so.
what he's indicating.
Well, I mean, like 2 tiny lizards. I'm not sure why you're bragging about them, that's all.
Yeah, that you couldn't see at all.
Yeah, he didn't tell you about them.
Well, I didn't deem them as a threat. I clearly saw them. Even though I didn't. Doesn't say
Okay, just to repeat, you couldn't see them. They were underground, under roots, which you couldn't see. Unless you
not
have X-ray
know.
vision.
I can. Have you not heard about tremor sense? Of course I saw them.
Press X to doubt. I'm doubting that's very hard. It explodes. Well, that how does Trevor sense?
That's fair. That's fair to doubt. That's very fair to doubt.
Alright, so the rest of the group, anything that you want to do at this particular location? The hole is open.
Nah, we continue on. I do tell them that it goes on for quite a while.
Yeah, the hole that you currently see on the surface is 50 feet long and 10 feet wide.
Oh no, not that. I mean, once you're down there,
The tunnel continues on for quite a while longer, but that's the hole that you can see on the top.
And then I look at the necromancer and ask him, so this was your place, correct?
He says, "No, we still have a couple of days worth of travel to get there."
And these tunnels, you never knew of them?
Well, the roots did cause problems from time to time. I suppose they move, as you can see.
And he motions to the hole. The fact that they were there before and they're not now.
Well, it helps to, well, set some on fire, but for now that will be enough for info I can gather then.
Alright. So no one wants to see where this tunnel goes?
Well, is there anything special there?
I don't know. I didn't make these.
Well,
I
they
don't see
seem
why
to be,
it's not our goal.
I mean, they seem to be some kind of transport for creatures, but that's about it.
I suggest we just stick to our plan.
Yeah, let's stick to the plan of getting rid of, well, this nicest way I can say, rid of the zombie problem.
Yes. By recruiting them.
Alright. I'll have to look into this another time.
And he just continues leading the way with Explo.
Yeah.
And
I guess that's where we're ending it.
Yeah, that is where we're going to end.
Okay.